We start out on this new road. No turning back. But we have our ancestors with us. We're gonna continue to dance with them. Dreaming them. Calling them. Seeing them. We are becoming what we were.
It is part of that Maya prophecies.
7 triangles of light.
Keep walking. You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
People who say that the gods made them from corn. They planned their lives according to the heavens. Well-versed in astronomy, using a sophisticated mathematics, they calculated the movements of the night sky thousands of years into the past and thousands of years into the future. They knew that the universe moved in cycles. Their lives were ruled by the rhythms of the natural world, planting and harvesting, birth and death, just as the great tree of life emerges from the earth.
Always they're connected. Science and religion.
In dreams we learn from the Maya gods when to plant and when to harvest, when to set the fire and when to do the corn ceremony.
What we're digging up, what we're coming up with is part of our history. And the men that lived here are some of the greatest men we've ever had. And it's a fact that we're getting to know more and more and more about the life of these people.
They still maintain their customs, they still maintain their ways of organizing their societies. And it's very exciting to see how much of the ancient Maya way of life is still alive and well.
Because American history does not begin in 1492 with Columbus. It begins in 200 BC with the first Maya king who wrote his name on a stone. What is happening now is the people who made these places, people like Yashpak or Bird Jaguar or Fakal, are getting back their voices. They are becoming real to us and speaking to the people of the 20th century about who built this place and why and what they felt and what they thought about the world. These are not anonymous people anymore.
You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
Yo, LA.
Yo. There we go. All right. What's up, my
Sorry
creative,
about that. The video.
beautiful community known as LA natives? Once again, we're here on Wednesdays. Warrior Think Tank. We got special guest here today, a really youthful, wise, old soul known as Land Rising on IG. I think that's your stage name too, right? Huh? Land is Rising. There you go. Land is Rising. So he's here. Armando, how you doing?
I'm feeling amazing today, Zero.
It seems like the community is coming together on every single level, brother. Like with the shows that we have planned, with Malinali Superfood storefront, close to being open. I mean, we're talking days away from being open, and really starting to celebrate our food, our source of energy, our connection with the sun, and the beautiful music that we make as artists. You know,
I want to apologize to everyone that saw our video go out. I went ahead and fixed it real quick. Most importantly, I want to thank all of our LA native viewers, all of our subscribers that subscribe to our website,
and all of our new YouTube
Our new sweaters just came in, by the way. We have 2 orders we need to fulfill, a double XL order and an XL order. I'm going to get those shipped out by tomorrow for sure, guys. We really appreciate the support, right, Zero?
Yeah, absolutely. We're about to put together a campaign of economic stability through LA natives by creating these platforms, whereas obviously Malinali Superfoods would contribute, where LA natives will contribute, and really organizing with the youth that's coming. We got to extend a hand out and let them join what we've already built, because there's no need to have that division. That division doesn't exist. It's all in the mind, where you have to do it my way. Sometimes my way is many, many ways. And you have to be humble enough to listen to the youth. You have to be humble enough to understand the youth and what they're saying and what they're doing and how to make that intergenerational connection. Because with that intergenerational connection, in other words, people who are 10 years apart, really, really close to each other, more of a mentorship towards each other, not on paper through contract, but more from the heart. Anyone you're around, if you're 40 and the person's 30, look at them as a mentor. You mentor them, not tell them what to do, but more along the lines of sharing your experience when you were that age. That kind of communication, that kind of love, that kind of understanding is truly the prophecy of Cuauhtémoc. That we would gain our understanding not for capital gain, but for communal gain, where community first, and that community starts with your home. And if your home just consists of you, then you are your own community for now, because you extend into the other community, which is the bigger community, and then another community, which is the human community, and then the other community, which is the plant community, and then it extends until you comprehend that we are just a small piece of this puzzle.
And Zero, our video went out. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the camera, but we're peaking, guys, and just give me about 5 minutes. Zero.
Absolutely. Well, if the video, we're gonna continue talking, but since that's the case, let's bring the brothers on. I have 2 very special guests today that are gonna join us. Are you guys ready? Or you guys need another minute or 2? Or are you guys good? Huh? Okay, perfect. Well, our video went out, so it's a good time for you guys to come and join us over here and start getting our conversations going. But yeah, who I'm bringing up today, I met at Natani Means documentary for, what was the name of that documentary? Huh? Akishita. The Battle of Standing Rock. And this individual, Land is Rising, was an actual member at Standing Rock, and he's gonna share his experience over there. He's gonna share his amazing talent. He brings a very talented musician that I'm very well aware of. He was in a band called Broken Arrow. His name is Edgar, amazing guitarist. And we're about to get into some very progressive conversations because, like I said, to mend the wheel, we must reach and extend a hand back to the younger generation and know that that younger generation has a firm hold of our work and our sacrifice. Because everyone along the chain of understanding the change that needs to come in our community had to have that. It may have not been as strong just because we're in the economic state that we're in, but nevertheless, it was there through whatever actions they felt was necessary. There was a lot of racism back then. There was a lot of pain and a lot of incarceration and a lot of beatings and a lot of murder during that time just to get it to this point. And now that we're at this point, it's a very complex time because as the population grows, it becomes very difficult to manage. And when you're trying to manage a humongous population, you have to impose certain rules and constrictions because you're trying to control a massive population that could turn on you in any second if they feel the need, if they feel brave enough. And the bravery really comes from the youth. And that youth is here in the studio. And there's many, many more youth out there. But today we have Land is Rising and Edgar from Broken Arrow. Welcome to LA Natives Podcast.
And watch, guys, as soon as the video comes back on, it's going to be on fire. I'm working on it as we speak, guys.
We're on right now. It's recording the audio.
Just want to bring in.
So feel free to talk and be as close as you can to the mic.
Just want to bring in the memory of Sam. She was with us at the ICE occupation. We're shutting down this part of a federal prison for like 43 days, and
bless her soul.
Yeah, you know, she transitioned. We were praying for her now. But yeah, she lit us up. Grandma Red Feather. Was holding it down, Al Wu the knee. Kind of grandmas who used to move guns in the 70s because that's what was needed back then. Because you had people, you know, the goons hired by federal agents who used to come in and shoot up traditional families, you know, reservations and tribal nations.
So that's right. Like, you guys just finished doing protests, right, for the ICE occupation, right?
That was like, I want to say, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to come to Ashedi, and I really had no idea what I was gonna see.
That's where Nobu and I met. A lot of great people. There was a lot of great people there holding it down, occupying the ICE detention center here in downtown LA, 24/7.
Yeah,
24/7.
I'm talking about houseless folks coming in, getting sober, helping with security, helping with, every day we had something we called the People's Think Tank. I just had people from all over come and they would teach the people in circles and talk and discuss. And I remember taking a lot of notes, and that's my role in this movement, you know. Right. My role is a note taker, someone who does the dishes, someone who can be trusted to communicate. You know, if people feel uncomfortable, I can, you know, bring that to council. Things like that. And so it's so nice to be a part of that. It's so nice to be part of like a greater purpose of people taking care of each other, because what we're given is
I feel like we jumped into this conversation, but I really want you guys to, you know, kind of individually introduce yourself, and then introduce your diehard activism, because, you know, us as a maybe older generation, we have a certain view of it, of whatever that is, you know, because like I said, we've been studying this system since 99. Not saying that everybody else's lack of education, but it's a long time. We've seen how the rabbit hole runs, right? Yeah. And you get to a certain age where if you're not connected to the youth, such as you, then they'll just go another way. When you've spent 20 years carving go down this lane, and you guys are going, nah, I don't really agree with that and this and that. So we're here mending the hoop.
I mean, one thing I would say is that we, the youth, we need OGs. We need those who have come before us. Like, we do need that. And also, we, the youth, and also like all those living, we need to be studying. You know, we need to be looking at Marcus Garvey. We need to be looking at our own, you know, land societies and ancestral tapestries of science and community economics, and that's what we were kind of talking about before. Right. Whether you're looking at Mashika Kapuli models or Lakota Tioshpai models, or in general, just different systems of, you know, abundance and symbiotic governance.
And so, so that's what I want to get into, is the fact that, you know, you guys just participate, or, you know, in the recent, not only, you know, Land is Rising just participated in Standing Rock, which is a few years ago.
Hey, you should call me what the people who love me most call me. Oline.
Oline. Perfect.
Yeah, I love you, bro.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oline.
people like that.
For sure.
Rubber ball bounce, just
You
playing
definitely
the
are
sacred
Oline,
game.
I'll tell you that. My son's Oline too, so
I love
you know
that.
we have a deep connection.
I'm trying to play some ball with him soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'll rebound for him. We could all,
Yeah,
that's what I love. Basketball. I heard that James Naismith himself, he said he was inspired by, Mesoamerican ball games like that.
Right.
I know every nation has real cool ball games, but basketball playing like that, it's an expression of our people, still being there and just thinking about the beauty of, when you have ball games back in the day.
Right.
And it's connected to the stars, the people praying, and you have all these different models of that. I have a question though. When we do this podcast, can we keep like some beautiful music in the background?
Absolutely.
That's incredible. Yeah, y'all next level for that.
I know. I was feeling
Just
that.
hit a pad right there. I think.
Yeah.
Mondo's handling the.
I might have to like freestyle.
Yeah.
At some point, what
Yeah,
I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love.
Well, know that this is your house, brothers, and I know what it's like to be on the front lines of something that you really believed in. And so you guys did talk about your activism and who you are and what you're part of.
Yeah, I guess,
you're a musician, so talk about that and what you've done activism wise.
For me, I came to Standing Rock a couple years ago, ended up spending about 6 months there on security, taking care of elders. It was real beautiful. From there, we eventually gathered ourselves, started working on different documentary projects from footage that was there.
Real quick.
Hey.
Huge announcement. Our camera's back, fellas.
Sweet. Right. I love this though. That's the rawness of it. This isn't like CNN. This is whatever we got and whatever our intention is.
When you guys, when somebody runs a live podcast, when the camera fails, you always have to have a plan B, right, Zero?
Absolutely. And even if we don't, then we're just gonna run with audio because, the intention is rolling, and we're moving forward just like Oline. So today's the day.
Sorry to interrupt you, brother.
You ever been on a video podcast, Edgar? I've never been. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure, bro.
Well, this is gonna go, and it's gonna be imprinted on YouTube, and it's gonna be watched over and over again, and our fan base is growing by the second.
Honestly,
and we do.
I couldn't
and
imagine doing this
whoever's
without,
on Twitch that's commenting right there. Whoever's on Twitch that's commenting right there, they're diehards. They're the ones that are going to tell you something, and they're going to interact with you. Those are the people that anybody who signs up for Twitch. And I'm not trying to diss the YouTube users because YouTube's easy; it's already on your thing. But
right,
well, when you go into extra mile and you sign up to Twitch, it's that's the community that we kind of really cater to. They're the ones that get the opportunity to win the prizes that we have.
Can they call in and talk about things?
Yeah, we definitely do call in. We actually can send them a link to do a side by side. If they have a computer.
I feel like we have a personal connection with our community. It's an underground podcast, right? Yeah. So when shit goes down, they're still with us.
Yes.
They're still patient because they know we're going to be working on it.
Right.
Oh yeah. Also, like y'all.
This is legendary
in a good way.
The powers are so.
Stick with that.
The energy is so powerful that our camera went out, Zero.
Nice.
Because we have Land is Rising.
Land is Rising.
Also, like me and Edgar were praying for a second,
and Edgar.
So everything worked out good. Honestly, Edgar is one of those people who. A lot of people, they want to talk about movement. They want to be part of something, but 90% of being a warrior is doing dishes, taking care of the babies, taking care of the people.
Right.
Edgar's the kind of person who all night security. He's down. Nice. He also inspires the people like that because he's crazy on guitar, crazy songwriter.
Noble and I met at the ICE Detention Center and our occupation.
So his band was playing literally above the flower altar that we had been using to block off the entrance to the ICE facility. And
Earth Arrow played right there at the steps of the detention
many times,
center.
and it's
and that was
pounding on the doors of the prison. They're just
our first time meeting the community there, and it was just really powerful because in between all the songs, we heard the prisoners looking from the people who had the cells facing us. A window, right?
Yeah.
They were hitting against the bars in rhythms and stuff like that.
Putting up notes so we could get number.
They were literally jamming with us. It was really special for us to provide that.
It's always a line of what can we talk about and what is best talked about away from all phones, but there's like a lot we can share, especially about where things could have gone better. Like even Standing Rock is so beautiful, but
it could all go better though.
There was a moment where thousands of military veterans came and they said, "We will be human body shields, so y'all can take this drill pad because we've seen y'all for the last 6 or 7 months, and y'all stopping construction for maybe 12, 14 hours, 18 hours at most a day, but it's inching forward, and eventually it comes to the river, and it's like we broke through the media blackout, thousands of veterans are ready, and it's like that,
Yeah.
And so, this is what Kishita talks about, but there's division, and at some point it was certain factions within the water protection movement that said, "Oh, we just need to pray, and we don't need to be like this." And there was our peoples were saying, "Yes, we gotta pray, and we have to move in prayer because that's what keeps us strong." And we don't have guns, and that's what's making it so that they can't come in and fucking shoot us all like that real quick. You know what I mean?
You're good to hear.
But like, imagine thousands of military veterans assembling on the day that we're trying to take the drill pad, and then like damn near 30, 50 of our own security standing there and having like an hour-long face-off, about what will the future of this be, know?
Right.
Or like at ICE occupation, we had there was a point in time where there was like a protest, I remember, with maybe 10, 20,000 people that was 10 blocks away. It had the mayor speaking, even though like the mayor at that point was, allowing or at least not actively working to stop the gang injunctions, LAPD and ICE collaborating, and he would go around and say like, on Gooper National tours to Texas and be like, "We love our immigrants, in LA, like we protect them, yada yada." When in truth, ICE is doing ICE things and holding people in LA and such and things like that. And so they had 20,000 people assembling though on some NGO stuff, for better or worse. And we woke up that day, probably had like 20 people at the occupation at this like federal prison in downtown. And, we had maybe a team of 5 or 6 go and just start talking to everyone, talking to families. It was interesting because when people assemble, it wasn't like a mob of people pulsating or praying or, I feel like in the old days or, just used to be community, but now it's like Disneyland almost, little pockets of people just moving through a space. So the protest ends up like ending maybe 6 blocks away from where we're at. So from 10 blocks to 6 blocks. So we're still like, oh, we wonder how many people are actually gonna come over. So we had some old Aimsters that had come out and they were talking. And then we all came and we actually formed a circle for like some prayer song. And then we came together. Like we didn't really know what we were doing after that but we're figuring it out because before there's not too many people here. So we all came together like in the very middle. And I don't know if people saw like we were walking to their cars or just walking out, but when they saw that massive like pulsating people, like hundreds of people started coming in and they filled that entire street, and then we had the whole street bouncing up and down. And like homeless people or houseless folks who are, getting clean, getting strong, like leading people in chants, you know what I mean? Hell no, the Skiro. Hell no, the Skiro. Or just like crazy things like that, Right. And with that, it's like, okay, that was so beautiful. And then we could have taken the people into the heart of the prison, or not the prison, but like the federal facility, right? We could have like gone in, but I was worried about us being trapped. So instead, I was like, okay, let's go around. Let's try to circle it up. And circling it up lost the momentum because we should have taken that pulsating energy and just went into the central courtyard. The courtyard wouldn't have necessarily gained us access to anything, but it would have been like a mass point and would have provoked. I just think, it's hard, like in that moment. There's babies who might be there, like what kind of situation do you want to create, Right. So it's all like,
you never know what level of violence they're going to use against you.
Well, they're going to use every single bit of violence they're going to use.
They own the monopoly.
Every single bit of it. They've never been. What you just guys described fucking Standing Rock, bro. You could look at the fucking again. What's the name of that documentary?
Akishita.
I didn't want to mess up the pronunciation. Akishita,
which is like those who protect the people
right.
in Lakota. At least that's how I've been told.
All right. Yeah. When you guys get to go see Akishita, or when you guys see any civil rights, any of that stuff. When has it ever been peaceful? Never. As a matter of fact, they send the most irritated, the most racist one to be the leader. You're the leader because you're ready to bash heads in.
What you mean, big bro? You mean like they send like the cops who are like
right
angry for violence? Yeah, I hear that for sure. And also the thing about they have mercenaries now, which is crazy, who train, and when they look at us, like literally the reports, they call us jihadists.
Right.
They have jihadist models. It's like, bro, people praying, but I mean, we're unarmed.
No,
it's a bunch of people in alliance, hundreds of native nations, like
but that's
Christian
what
allies, Afro-native. Like,
but that's what I'm saying is like whether you would have went with that big crowd into the thing, and then Edgar says, well, we don't know what kind of violence they're going to use. I'll tell you what kind of violence they're going to use. Massive violence.
Yeah.
They don't care who's there. They don't think of you as human. That's not just the police.
It's like that Roman legionnaire energy.
It's not exactly. If you can really conceptualize what you just said, it's like the Roman Legion Empire, right? And Rome took over every territory.
And that's why I do, because my mama, she Irish, she Irish missionaries that came to Hawaii. And my dad's people are like from Mexico City and Jalisco, and they came up here to like LA, Montebello area.
Absolutely. Jalisco have light hair and light skin.
Man, I think honestly my dad's family is pretty dark, bro.
Oh.
You know what I mean? My mom, she's like,
my dad was dark, but I came out married for some reason.
She's Irish. So like I'm just like, and that's the thing. Like I like going through the old stories or hearing, there's always like, mixed bloods who rocked it with the grandma councils, but they served the grandma councils, and like, I don't know, man.
It's because we haven't conceptualized as a people what we're fighting. Right? Right now, as activists, what are you fighting?
Oh man, I mean, I like to say activist is a hard word, right?
Or like, not activist, but whatever you consider yourself. Land protector. There you go, land protector.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you want to define yourself.
I do want the land to be protected, and I am ready to do a lot for that.
Absolutely.
And I would like to serve that.
Absolutely. I prefer that term over activist.
Yeah, that because we're okay. Activist was a wrong. Activist was a wrong word because that's a '60s word, right?
Nawa for warrior.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different translations.
Absolutely. So,
and
Zero
society of the land.
And Zero, I know how you feel about the word protesting.
Right. I think it's useless. I think being an activist is useless. That's my true feeling.
I mean, let's look at Standing Rock though. Some people will call Standing Rock activism. Some people would say Standing Rock is like a literal expression of like how our people used to come together in alliance and like solve problems.
Right.
Resistance.
It started from like
now here's the story.
Young people running from town to town.
I want you guys to take this.
Reservation.
After I just finished saying that I don't believe in that type of work.
I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of times when people go to a protest or something like that, it's like they go there, they plug in, and then they plug out, and it's very consumerist. And let me just have like they're trying to help, but it doesn't really do much. Like I'm with you, but on the same level, it's like honestly, just to maybe challenge you, big bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you talk about your economic ideas and just like things like that, and you and your people's, like start a freaking book club on that. Like we need those conversations.
Well,
and like
today
when it comes to like.
Today I was talking to my kids, right? I was talking to my kids, my son's girlfriend and him, right? They go, Dad, I'm going to start a bank account. I said, oh, cool. It's cool. You're going to start a bank account. You're going to account for all the money you're spending. Huh? What do you mean? Because I want to start a savings account. I go, okay. But it's still going to lead to a specific documentation of what you're spending. So you're jumping into accounting. Huh? Yeah. He never got, he's 18. He just jumped into a bank account a day ago. I explained what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not a mechanism that's going to give you money, that's going to generate money for you. It's a place where you put money and then you see it dwindle down and it's accounted for.
I mean, let's look at it. It's dwindling down because we don't have cooperatives. The workers don't own like the ability to achieve things on their own terms.
But my point of what I'm saying, in terms of what I'm telling my son.
I like economic literacy though. Yeah, put us on game. Yeah.
So what I'm telling my son is, it's just an accounting system. And he's thinking, and now he gets it. Then at the end, I go, look, see? Because if you look at an accounting system, and you understand and analyze how you spend your money, you will see, holy shit, I spent $150 on food that I could have made myself, right? If you look at it in that manner. But
yeah, that's the thing. We all gotta cook, man.
To finish,
I mean, cooking is so beautiful.
But to finish my point really quickly, it's
I love to cook for my people. That's my favorite
taking
thing.
what's in your bank account that says, like, let's say $100, right? It's $100 in your bank account. So you're going, hey man, I saw this dude by a lunch truck and he was frying Twinkies. He was making $10 for each Twinkie. Each Twinkie has 12 in there. I can make $120 off a $10 investment. All I have to do is fry it for them and give it back to them at $10. And then I went, look, see how you did that? Now put it into your accounting system. Now you're starting to realize that accounting system can double if you invest in proper investments that are going to double up your accounting system.
But the problem is that it's really hard to have like regenerative economic models that actually get, like, for example, a lot of people that are just trying to start a business, they're incentivized to just pay their employees as little as possible. It's not even their fault. It's just like, I'm starting a business, I'm gonna hire you, I'm gonna pay you as little.
That's a capitalist.
Capitalist, but on the same, maybe I'm talking to most people. Maybe it's like, I would say it's people just like surviving and being in capitalism. Definitely made capitalism.
Using a capitalist model to survive.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to break, though.
No,
I'm trying to break that perception.
No,
because even with just my son, I broke down what a bank account is, and his perception of a bank account is totally different from what non-perception he had of it. In other words, he goes to a monotonous workplace, makes a sum of money, puts it in there, and dwindles it down to nothing. So now he has to go back to that monotonous workplace. That's the way I broke it down to him. I go, you could do that, or you can go, damn, I have $300. If I buy these used tennies for 20 at the yard sale, I can put them up on OfferUp and make 100. Right?
Yeah,
Using your
I'm
economic base
that's
in
why
a
a lot
good
of
way,
my friends,
in a perceptional way.
That's why a lot of my friends, like, I don't know.
So
like
here's my point.
Move packs.
Here's my point.
Because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna take this 1,000. I'm gonna flip it to 2, and I'm gonna move packs. That's what.
What
you know
are
I
you
mean?
gonna do with the money? What are you gonna do with the accounting system?
I'm gonna have to freestyle over this about that situation, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I'm breaking your perception of what a bank account is, because no one ever told you what a bank account is. What is a bank account? No one told me. Oh, that's where I play my work money. I put it in there and I dwindle it down.
Can you boost this?
Instead of going, this is a brick that if I divide that brick into, if I give a piece of this brick to this, I can make more bricks.
More bricks, so I need me some patience. Why they burn my soul like it's napalm? Big bro put me on game. Pray the ember still hear the club flame. Cold ball, no, it's an old soul. So I listen in to my OG, and my woman, she a trophy. Cause the water within her, they be holy, and I'm smoking on a whole leaf. Tell me about what God, I go believe. Cause they feed me deceit. I'm gonna go and need me just a some treat, medicine, and this prayer made a better man. Lord.
Yo, this kid is amazing.
Lord.
This kid is amazing.
Through this, when we taught, like, when you put this on game, I might just have to get inspired and drop.
Hey man, handle it, dude.
Yeah,
that's
how we grew up. You know, that at Standing Rock, that was us, bro. At the ice occupations, it was like no taking, doing it, but how do you keep the spirits up? You be playing with the homies, you be freestyling.
Absolutely.
What do you do at security all night? You look back and there's 300 fires behind you, and you're like, oh, we have a sense of purpose now. Or like ice hockey. I mean, yeah, that's how we met and like fell in love as, you know, my brother, bro. You know what I mean? Because he was playing mad Spanish.
I'm glad you said that.
Stuff.
We have a sense of purpose. I want to break that down for a second. Okay. When colonizers came and developed plantations, they used slave labor, right? So then,
or the missions too,
right?
Missions.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
all native people, people of color were less than people who have white descent and are coming from the Roman Catholic Church, right? That's the way it went. Do you know this cross? No. You're dark. You're less
have
than
you
me.
ever heard the idea of sacrifice zones? It's a fucking crazy concept that goes into Mexica farm workers. It goes into the Black Hood on East Coast. You know what I mean? forget which hood, but it's a comic book. It goes into Irish coal miners, and it goes into reservations, and it talks about through a comic book like each of those places, the people and the land got sacrificed viciously, and then from that, the same forces that sacrificed that, they're now coming together to kind of sacrifice what's left, which is okay, water. Nestle doesn't give a fuck about our water. Nestle just got fined $1,000 a day for fucking up groundwater on a massive level. They don't care about $1,000 a day. You know what I mean? Like, so now the sacrifice zone is becoming all our collective future. But that's the lens that I think really speaks to me. And then also just calling in like for Hampton, you know what I mean? Rainbow Alliance and things like that. It's like,
I think we get fired up with movements that use our passion. Like, there was one time where my homie, his name was Sergio. He said, dude, I don't like going to speeches. I don't like going to protests. I don't like going to that shit. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I was about your age. I was like, dude, what do you mean? Like, we got to be there. He's all, no. He's all, this is what happens. Is that we get there, we get all our energy out. We feel all our fucking just fuck everything and da-da. And then as soon as it's over, go buy a beer.
Exactly.
Buy some cigarettes.
And nowadays, I would say...
And you go, I did my part.
The equivalence nowadays, too, is when people get really fired up and they start... I won't say identity politics things, but when people just be like... They really like talking. You know what I mean? I love talking. I like listening even more. You know what I mean? But I like eating fish, spitting bones. You know what I mean? Digesting that together. I love that. It's like, what are the moves that put us in a position where we're stronger every day, right? And I've been told by some of my like anarchist homies, there was this whole division, right? Even within Karl Marx. Karl Marx is like, oh, we need a vanguard. Like, we need this vanguard, this initial spear of people that are going to come in and set a new system that's going to be crazy. And you have other people who were rivals of Marx who said, fuck that. We need to develop just general systems that let communities have stronger, economic systems for the people. Families are able to live at a better place. You have, stability. You earn the people's allegiance. You get stronger and build that capacity every day. So if we're on that level, then I love it. You know what I mean? But everything else kind of seemed like a lot of
in that
steam.
level,
we can't afford to do anything else.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
In that level you just described, how many years does it take to achieve that goal of whatever that is?
Well, the one thing that we have that's helping us is the enormous crisis of the ecosystems. Because when it comes to water, when it comes to groundwater, when it comes from California's ability or the West Coast.
But put a number on it. How long? 5 years? 10 years?
Within 10 years, scientists are saying that around the equator, there's going to be the risk of wet bulb temperatures, which is when the temperature is over. If the temperature is over 100,
you said a scientist, right? He's from a colonized version of a school.
I mean, wait. You hop on them airplanes, right?
Huh?
You hop in that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That car came from the most colonized behemoth.
No, I get it. But as a warrior, you use tools. Like, you're in the desert, you find a gun, you use it.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a tool called a scouting report that's basically wet bulb temperatures, 107 degrees, and a certain amount of humidity, and the human body cannot cool down from that. You die, right? And so it's a possibility that hundreds of thousands to millions to like 20 million people at a single time could be at threat of perishing. So with that sounds apocalyptic, but at the same time, it's just a natural result of over the last 100 years, 500 years, it's been a progression to ignore every single bit of land and the desire of that land and the cycles of that land and the potential abundance of that land. And so if we, start planting as much as possible, and like you said before, not pretending we have the answers, but coming together and be like, let's be coherent together, and what's like the North Star that's going to guide us, what's the orientation that's going to guide us, and then coming together to the point where
the other weakens you.
This land had a degree of abundance that we can't really imagine. The entire West Coast could be eating salmon. If we take out those dams, nowadays the dams are coming down, it's too expensive. You know what I mean? So there's a potential wave where the dams are taken back and the salmons come back. There's a potential wave where the large amounts of land in the Midwest start being buffalo corridors. There's a potential where cities start realizing we need to help our soil as much as possible on every level, because healthy soil and healthy plants stabilizes climate and brings back the rain, which, I mean, you're right, big bro. Our ancestors and ancestral sciences know 10,000 times more, and First Nations and
you want to know why?
I mean, because they lived
Because they
there for time
believed in
immemorial.
no, because
You
they,
know what I mean?
they
'Cause
believed
had
in a certain philosophy that's very
10,000,
simple to understand.
generations.
That's a key. But they used a philosophy that's very simple to understand. There's a micro understanding and a macro understanding. That macro understanding, you'll never understand it. It's too big. It's too much. But you're a part of it. It's not yours. It's kind of like the energies of time. They're there, but they're not yours. But you can ask advice of them. It can guide you, right? So there's a macro vision and a micro vision. Scientists try to explain the macro vision without knowing shit. But if enough people believe in them, they can write a book, they could say whatever they got to say, and they'll fucking believe them.
I mean, so I think the alternative is having citizen scientists, people scientists, you know?
I'm common sense science. You understand what common sense science
Common
is?
sense is beautiful, but I get sad because on some level we do have intuition and we do have things like that.
On every level, brother. Because you're human. You're unexplainable. We think we know, but we don't. We think we know, but
10,000
we don't.
generations of science, you know, it's like, how do you go and pick up the embers and then weave it together into a cohesive tapestry that like might let us survive in a good way?
By letting you know that you will never understand the macro vision. You will never understand, but you can understand the micro vision. What is the micro vision of what I'm talking about?
But
Your own life.
What do you mean by macro? Babe? You
I
just mean
wanna
like you
say,
can't try to
actually,
have all the
macro,
answers?
like-
it is fucked how like these colonized systems of learning and knowledge
come from them.
And
Only them.
You have to go through their gateways to achieve that knowledge.
There is no gateway.
And
it's a manipulation.
But I'm saying, like, you know, because you're presented something your whole life,
you believe it.
You know, you believe that, and so like society at large believes that in order to know about what is called scientific knowledge, which is, and the thing is, you know, we've always had scientists, indigenous people. The thing is that they weren't taught in a way that also adheres.
I'm gonna explain to you our science,
the doctrine of the United States.
Right. I'm gonna explain to you
Or
the way we
whatever,
view science.
Colonized country that it is that creates those systems of knowledge.
Right. Because they're indoctrinated. You're indoctrinated by whoever wrote that book and whatever that philosophy came from. But look about it. I could break it down as simple as this.
I mean, people get indoctrinated in the movement too. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I want to listen because.
So here's
I know you've been on many movements that like.
That failed. Not failed, but we learned from them. And their heart breaks that don't come back.
I mean, yeah, you look at how active things were with Black Panthers. You look at how active things were in the 90s. You look at how active Marcus Garvey, you know, was. They had like 8 steamships, you know, going between that.
It's like learning from what they did. What did they do? They militarized. But if they militarized, okay, yeah, you're making a stance, but instead of militarizing, incorporate. Create systems of ownership.
Well, do you know the story?
Those systems of ownership led land ownership. That's real shit.
I agree. I'm just saying the reason that it's like a time of need too. You know what I mean? When I talk about the grandmas who had the run guns back in the day, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But who also at the same time were, you know, getting homeless youth from, you know, Denver, you know, Mexica youth in the hood and bringing them into, you know, Temascal and Sweat Lodge and, you know, peyote meetings. And from those youth, like some of them
we came out of.
Yeah, 10,000.
Absolutely.
You know me? So like, it's interesting.
Well, it's just that, like I said, we come from a generation. I'm the last generation because I'm teaching my children something completely different. You know, I don't teach my children what my mom told me. Save your money, mijo. That's it. That was the breakdown of a bank account. Save your money, mijo. Right? Save your money. That's all you got to do.
Straight up.
Yeah. Well, what is a deposit? What is a late fee? What is this receipt? How does it coincide with my? You know, that's what I told my son today at the table. I said, "It's an accounting system, son. Start to learn how to use it."
You love the word accounting, bro.
It's numbers.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's numbers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know their vernacular because I ran a corporation for for 5 years. And
so yeah, put this on game.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I ran a corporation. I used to work with autistic kids. I had 40 clients, and they were all, but I was a capitalist. I thought the same way you guys' ideas is like, it's a capitalist way of doing it. Like, we just got to get money.
I mean, no, cooperative. I mean, you know what I mean?
Even if it's in that gamut. What's more,
What's wrong with the cooperative? Because isn't that where like everyone that works, it has a voice on the council?
Well, if it's coming from, it depends on the structure.
Of course.
The structure. Who wrote it? What structures are you using?
Let's look at Mondragon in Spain, where they have $13.4 billion. Let's look at Zapatista system.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or Cooperation Jackson in the South.
Example.
You know what I mean? It's like a whole city regional plan.
Yes.
You know, that's really, really beautiful.
I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is like, Standing Rock was to stop the pipeline.
But it also started like the modern crystallization that built on everything before, that all the sacrifices before.
Yeah.
It allowed a moment where not just the 7 Lakota bands came together.
Right.
But
that's the amazing part.
Then from that, Eagle and Condor, Coatli, Kushka Coatli, like, you know, prophecies about hundreds of nations being able to come together and realize something. You know, every nation that came to Ashedi Sokoan, that came to that camp, they went to the fire that was started, and they brought their dances, they brought gifts, you know what I mean? And after they, you know, did that, they put a flag up. So eventually there's hundreds of flags from hundreds of different nations that are there. You know, some people, you know, came in canoes, you know, crazy. So it's like from that, it's a remembering of what things could be. And the truth is, it's been really hard for a lot of people since Standing Rock. A lot of people, PTSD, incredible. Depression, incredible. Because the realities of this world are very cold. And we went from a lot of those people, when I never knew systems could work so well until I came to Ashedi. Until I saw people taking care of each other and putting work in and wanting to put work into like community systems and it just moving really intricate. You know?
I love the energy that was put at Standing Rock. I don't think Standing Rock is a failure by any means. You know,
mean, honestly,
I think
the people that were there when it looked like we were gonna win, and when the people that were there looking at thousands of military veterans ready to go take a drill pad after, we think we lost, you know. But the greater victory of a beacon, that like a worldwide beacon that people are like, water is life, Chashiu like Mini Wachoni were there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not a failure. It's not a failure.
There's a lot to learn from even ice occupation. In some ways, failure. In other ways, a beautiful learning lesson. From there, I've been focusing.
So here's the example.
Years, I've been going from land compound to land compound, and then seeing different examples of.
It's never a failure to resist.
No, absolutely, because we're all learning.
At the same time, we're in a day and age where if we cannot.
It's important to every person that is resisting.
If we can't communicate to the world, to every single community, that they have to listen to the soil and the cycles of the soil and the cycles of plants and the cycles of stabilizing climate and precipitation. If we don't approach Lali like that, if we don't approach land like that, it's real ugly. Right. So it's real beautiful or it's real ugly, you know? And that's why, like, I want to talk later on this about, you know, what we were saying, where there's land spaces that have been cultivated, you know, hundreds of acres where, you know, we could have families come, you know, 50 families, 100 families come together and plant.
That'll be the vision.
Amaranth and corn. Well, that's something that's happened already on a small scale. You know, it's children in shot collars of opposing gangs coming up. You know, that's the work that the OG's been putting up there. Real humble stuff. Lots of, you know, Afro-Native gatherings of families building out like amazing, amazing land projects. Imagine a whole water system put in like an entire day and like really joyously.
That's the harnessing of human power for a cause that's communal, right? You do that. They do the same thing when they build a business, except they entice you instead of with your intention, they entice you with money, right? You want to know who went to Standing Rock? Like, I know they said the National Guard.
I was going to freestyle this beat's crazy. My bad. Yeah. I just have like
the security system, the security people that went to Standing Rock with the dogs, all that stuff, right? Somebody paid for that. That's why they went. That's why they took dogs. They went, oh, I'm going to get $150 an hour.
The military industrial complex, like, you know.
Or even Tiger Swan thing.
Tiger Swan.
That whole Tiger Swan. Now, my point is this. We never.
Mercenaries being hired on American soil.
Yeah,
Right.
Literally ATVs with mercenaries like picking off people if you go too far. Like,
But if you have enough money, you could do it.
17-year-old girls riding security, going to like breaking herds of buffalo free and riding them at the police, or like, you know, kids from the res or kids from the hood finding purpose and doing like security detail missions, like multi-day scouting things and coming back. It's like our capacity is very high. So what are the orientation points? What are the North Stars for our people? Like you said, economic things, economic structures.
It's all economic.
The
reason the Mexica people were so great is because they were all sovereign. They all had a skill to contribute to whatever was going to be built. So they made him valuable.
Guys, if anyone has questions, we have a lit audience. We have a lit chat. We really appreciate everyone tuning in. Zero of El Vuh, Land is Rising. Here.
I'm going to, before we answer anything, let me leave you guys with this thought. One time I was riding the bus and I was riding by 2 African-American kids, and they were, man, I was listening to them for like 30 minutes. Dude, to rob a bank, all we need is this.
Bro, I know hella white kids that be talking like that. I know hella Mexica kids that be talking like that. I've taught 5th graders that are like talking like that. Like,
so my point is that like, I kind of interrupted them in the middle of them doing that, because they were like 30 minutes of this in-depth analysis and what they're gonna do.
Well, why do we even need to mention that they're black though?
Or whatever. Just well, they were. That's why it wasn't like.
I feel you.
It's just that they were, and I speak in truth, and I'm not saying that to be negative.
No, I just.
But
like,
my point is what I said,
we gotta
brothers.
Be like those Mexica that like are like, yo, we love Afro-Native Mexica alliance.
Well, we love humans.
We love humans, but we also love like.
Period. Just humans
when people try to get turned against each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who are.
That's not us. This is a communal. This
is
a communal thing worth, based on knowledge, intention, and commitment and credibility.
Your lifetime of work shows that, you know.
Absolutely, I haven't changed a bit. I've always been the same person that I am, and I'll admit my mistakes on any level, because I'm not afraid of it. What's there to be afraid of? What you learned? That's not a big deal. But when I was talking about these 2 African American boys talking about robbing a bank, I went, "Hey, brothers, I've started businesses before," and they're looking at me, right, all crazy. I go, "I've started businesses before, and that same intensity started a business for me. How about not thinking about robbing a bank, and maybe about creating a brand? Making a record label.
It's hard for people to operate in a capitalist system that tries to fucking crush them. So the question is to the youth, and if it's like that, what are the real things that give our
switching your perception?
And this is what I say: Kush, planting, seed libraries. If you have cannabis, you know what I mean? If you have the ability of kids wanting to learn about agroforestry and what does it take for healthy living soils? What does it take for the economics of getting a license?
It just takes knowledge. It takes, like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it talks.
You could either go, oh, let's watch this movie about robbing banks, or you go, oh wow, let's watch this documentary about curing soil. Let's read this High Times about growing cannabis.
We need to. I guess where I'm at right now, after different front lines, is what consumes me, what gives me the most joy, is providing ways that young people, especially young people that really need, I don't know, some realness in their life, you know what I mean? A chance to figure out their internal healing so that they can actually get there and participate in that. So
I remember being in a youthful kind of collective. I'm not going to name the name of it, but
I'm talking like 10,
I was in a collective, right? And I was telling them, look, we can do a marketing plan that could sell this many records, and imagine
it's
what
hard
we could
to
do.
have a record label, bro. It's
no, I
it's
get it,
hard.
and that's
like,
that's exactly what they told me. That's exactly what they said. It's not easy because we're not selling commercial music. But I go, if we're not selling commercial music, how come we can't put our creativity in our graphic design, in the actual music that we make, to create a scene that will bring, even if we don't hit the 5 mil, if we hit $500,000, it's fucking better than 10,000.
Or maybe the truth is that music was never really created by the sacred to make a lot of money off of, and that
I don't believe that. Bob Marley wouldn't have been who he was.
I mean, at the same
he
time,
didn't do,
I get,
because his shit was spiritual.
I get that. Where I'm coming from, it's like we can build certain, community business networks. We can build certain beautiful things. We can build different land spaces. We can, have beautiful families, be a part of like everything you're talking about, right? and that can be our life. And then at the same time, like, write music that inspires us, that inspires many people, that we can sing to our families.
And having these
our
podcasts and
clans
conversations.
and gatherings of people. Like, our people have always sang. Like, we always sang, bruh.
Yeah.
We always, well, it's a balance now
gets into music thinking I'm gonna make.
We're in a new age.
Yeah, talk about that,
right?
Edgar.
We're
Talk
in a new
about
age,
that.
and you're also one.
Well, look,
Edgar is like one of the craziest guitar soloists I've ever seen. So you have people every day trying to book you. So that's different. But I'm saying, in general, when it comes to like a lot of this, it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And just being real about that, it's like, dude, write your songs.
Yeah.
Share your songs.
No
and
one
if the
gets
people
into
like them,
music
the people will
they're
sing
gonna
your
make
songs.
a bunch of money.
But it's,
like,
you know,
the love has
there's
to
other
come
things
for the pure love.
The people need. We can't just have a generation of SoundCloud rappers. You know?
Look, in my
That's
experience,
what we can't just have people who want to rap and do nothing else. Like that's not it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, basically.
Well, look, in my world, you know, when I book a headliner, I'm handing him a check of $50,000.
Yeah.
$40,000, $75,000, right?
Yep.
So in my world, right, as one of the biggest bloggers in the world, to be honest, in the independent underground game, everyone's reason behind being an artist at one point or the whole time is to become a headliner, is to go to these venues, pack them out, and make your dream a reality.
But what's your dream, bro? I want to be cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, come
But
on
for
now.
me-
The dream is like a bunch of land spaces and people sing songs. Headlining is cool. I'm blessed too because I have a team around me who really, really love me. I'm talking about, like, I've been blessed by Tupac's first manager, you know what I mean, who works in, like, still works with the kids, you know, working in San Quentin for many years. Like, those people who are like, okay, like, let's try to figure out some place, you know what I mean? So I've been blessed to meet you. I've been blessed to have, like, the realest in the game of, you know, who lived the generations before me, you know what I mean? And who, like, you know, I'm still like, please, big bro, let me get a verse. Like, I've been blessed to build that, you know, big bro brotherhood with you, you know? Edgar, you one of the realest, one of the most talented I know. But, like, it's hard, man.
It's creating a community. Here it is. It's very simple.
What are we actually creating?
It's
you know?
very
it has
simple.
to be more than
You know what
music
you
because
said, though?
I've seen 20,000 people gather, bro, for a Knocko concert, and I was like,
well,
in
that's
Red
my
Rocks,
role.
and it was cut into a mountain.
That's
You
my
fucking
goal.
took a concert venue.
Right.
You took a Red Rocks.
Yeah.
You cut a concert venue in there.
Right.
You have a bunch of people sing, a bunch of hippie environmental people.
Right,
It's like,
right.
that's the time, right? The water, land people, they're all there. It's like,
Right.
what the fuck are we doing then, right? With all that energy. It's just like, that's like church to people. That's like their spirits are singing.
So-
and what do we do to harness that? And I'm saying, well,
Other people are doing
let's
that.
plant.
Other people are doing it.
So
I'll
if
tell
we
you who
gather
they are.
people,
The
let's
people
gather
that went and
plant,
sold the
bruh.
shirts, sold the crystals, sold the food, sold the drinks. All
Yeah.
those people,
Man.
they're the ones that went, wow, going and putting myself in the market of Knocko. I made 20K that day. That day I made 20K.
And so my
Do you
point is
understand
this:
my
if
concept?
we're just making music on the concrete and just trying to be cool, then it's not really shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only reason
But
why I'm
if
making
you have-
music is because people have been asking me on every single front line I go to, every single compound I go to. They're like, "Hey, a couple of those songs really made my heart sing."
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So I'm gonna still do the work with you. Like, we're still gonna be doing the work, but yeah, we might have a couple songs. And also, there's people who blow me away, like Tia. You know what I mean? Like, or just a bunch of incredible.
I think
like,
our job is to
yeah.
gather people, right? If we gather
That's
people,
what I'm saying. I want to
if we
bring.
gather
I want
people,
you to gather
then
your
Armando-
people and bring them
then
to
Ar-
our land
then
compounds and
Armando-
freaking have the families gather. The
Right.
kids to be able to come in and sweat for the first time with their mamas and dads.
Right.
Get their Nahuatl names to be able to go. The young men to go on runs and hike, or
Absolutely.
anyone who
And-
wants to go and run and hike. But that fellowship of the young men, that hunting for
that's
all
like a
people in a good
50-year
way.
commitment.
And it's funny that you mentioned
That's happened. That could happen within 12 months. If we get 50 families that are down to come in a good way, I'm talking like a good way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In an old way.
Maybe now, maybe you could find 50 families that'll do that.
100
But
I mean, we can do it
what I'm
post-COVID.
saying, what I'm saying,
things like that in a good way.
what
where
I'm
we plan
saying
out
is,
stuff.
what I'm saying is, look, create a market for everyone to be a part of, right? I know
I
what
feel
it's
like
like.
everyone's focus needs to be on healing the soil, bro.
I've made. It's kind of like a different version of corporations, right? If you go with the corporate structure with CEO, president, CEO, president, CFO, all these positions, right? They're all going, I'm going to go make money from this net that we're creating. But it's all like a template. Big bro, if me and you focused our energy and our love and our creativity and our intention, we can make one song that could feed 1 million people. But if we don't create a marketplace where to find that song and where that intention exists, then we're never gonna have anything.
I mean,
because there's all, you know what? When they get together to make world decisions, these elites, the Bilderbergs, what do? They create a market for themselves. They gather together and they share resources. And that's how they do it.
And that's my goal, you know, like me being in the industry, guys, like I'm in this most grimiest business called the music business. I've met some of the most shadiest motherfuckers in the game, right? Because when it comes to, you know, booking these quote unquote headliners, there's always a middleman. There's always this company called Live Nation. There's always this company called Golden Voice.
Yeah.
And there's always
the monopolies.
Venue. There's always the venue that wants to make sure everyone's drunk.
Yeah.
And making them money.
Yeah, at my shows only pulque. At Edgar's shows only pulque from now on.
Right.
Only traditional.
So like my
drinks,
goal,
like
my goal is to incorporate all my business practices and my promotional techniques from what I've learned in the grimy hip hop business that I work in, and incorporate it to this new wave of indigenous hip hop.
Right. Because
this is why LA Natives exists. You know what I'm saying? Now, keep in mind, when you type underground hip hop on Google, we are the #1 search linked worldwide, right? I want to take that power. I want to take that influence and deeply devote it to the indigenous native hip hop community.
Right.
And we've only been doing this for 4 months, 5 months.
It's not your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. It's not any single person's responsibility to cure anything. But we are to contribute to a new version of whatever it is that we feel it is.
Have you ever heard the theory that we're responsible for all living things in our vicinity?
Well, we'll
only find happiness if we follow that.
We're caretakers of our surroundings, right? We live in a very small city that has a lot of people, so makes that perception think that we're encompassing the whole entire globe or the whole entire land mass or landscape.
We live in California, a place that there was inland seas, a place of the 6th largest economic activity, a place where they grow so much fucking food, but in such a bad way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have a lot of power, and also
there's a lot of land here too.
There are so many of our people that are working in the fields in awful ways. So how can the soils get taken care of, and how can there be equitable working? Like for the people who are working, and their hands are blistering and peeling every day because of like the work and the pesticides.
I think we use all
That's
of our.
why we need the economic systems.
People who do that,
young
they
people,
only
we
get
gotta study
paid
up together.
maybe
Study up Marcus
50 cents
Garvey.
per barrel of fruit that they bring. So
yeah,
like,
they have to pick 2,000 pounds to get minimum wage for one day with tomatoes. So it's like, how do we study up on cooperation Jackson or cooperative Jackson? But it's one of those two things. One of the best Afro-Native Southern models, for sure.
I think it takes a group of individuals. I think it takes only 4 or 5 people, because, you know, if I analyze...
4 or 5 people for what, big
like
bro?
4 or 5 people to be in a council, ideally 20, right? 20 in a council that are dedicated.
You can have councils on councils on councils.
That are dedicated to an outcome, and they're going to contribute all their resource and commitment to that outcome. That's the only way these Calpulis built pyramids. That wasn't a fucking 1 year, 10 year, 20 year. They said, we're going to dedicate our Calpulis energy for 1,000 years. How do you build a city on a lake? That doesn't happen overnight. It takes a communal engineering.
And it's also walking in a way that the young want to take part in it.
Well, it's also fighting with the youth. It's also the other youth disagreeing or other Calpulis not disagreeing. But at the end of the day, we're all together.
And so beautiful that they have no choice, bro. When you speak from the heart, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
People have no choice but to listen, and their hearts are like,
Yeah, I believe that.
So it's like that. You know what I mean?
I believe that for sure.
And you're one of those people who can walk like that and does walk like that, and that makes me charged up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why
I just believe that
as a representative of certain land spaces, like we really, like, yeah, just need you to be like, set that beacon in a good way, and just help set that good counsel of families that might be interested in things like that,
right?
And we can really grow, because that's like the next step of everything you've been building on for your entire life. Like, think about when you say you were writing your music and you were in ceremony. You were in Temazcal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were fasting, you were dancing, you were giving flesh, you know what I mean? Like that, you know? I mean, now you have young people and you have land spaces and you have, you know,
I think our
like
people
a
were
legacy,
brilliant.
you
I think
know?
our people were brilliant enough to sit with someone like yourself and create a good plan and get a good outcome out of it. You know what? And I also think that there's going to be disagreements on that road. There's going to be like, I don't think you're going the right way, or this and that.
We got to be able to digest, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how does a forest breathe and do good, right? You have networks in the soil of mycelium, of mycorrhizae, of what they would call, you know, fungi, mushrooms, you know what I mean? And there's a part of that called the hyphae, I'm told. And the hyphae is like this scout, right? I love it because that's how I feel like me and Edgar, like some of the young people are, or, you know, anyone, definitely, right? But the hyphae going out, anything it encounters, this is what makes it so powerful. Any kind of cell it encounters, it goes past the cell walls, right? But it respects the sovereignty of that and it waits outside the nucleus. And the nucleus brings out certain codes and information, like this is the situation here. And that hyphae brings that back into the network, and then from that establishes like a symbiotic relationship of nutrients being traded and exchanged. You know what I mean? And that's so beautiful.
Exactly like that.
You know, just like
that's
that.
how we got to do it. Is the trust factor, because I got to leave something for the next 7 generations. I was taught for a very long time when I was coming up in this wisdom, in this red road, in the temescales and the sundances, that you got to leave something for the 7 generations. And that didn't dawn on me what it was. But organization is a key fact to leaving the 7 generations. Because if you can organize something with an outcome.
Always have counsel, baby.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
With an outcome, like the outcome, like let's just say, for instance, we're going to go, Malanali Superfoods is going to have a parking lot. And in that parking lot, we're going to have vendors. And these vendors are going to provide these things for this community. And these other vendors are going to bring plant-based foods. And then here comes Land is Rising. He's going to perform for your consciousness, right? So it's a collective intention. Right? And Land is Rising gets here's your $250, bro. Thanks for coming. And then all the vendors make their money. And then, you know, the plant-based people go and they make their money. And then what are they going to say? When's the next one? And then when's the next one?
I'm like, nah,
when's the next
let's just
one?
all meet up on the land and then let's plant a bunch of plants that the butterflies need, and that'll help make the soil good. And then we cook a bunch of food for each other, and then we can put each other on game with, you know, the superfoods or different ancestral foods like that, you know. And we pray over the food at the end of the day, and then, you know, we have some maybe music that fires people up, some stories that fire people up, you know, people like OGs, Masatsin, Young Gino Cuauhtemoc, things like that.
You're talking about a youth council. Like we need to create a really strong
gatherings on the land. Like instead of a show like that in a parking lot, like a show like
that's a market. What I described is a market.
A market. No, I mean, markets are cool.
A market of economy.
Okay, I feel you.
With people who can contribute, just like people at Standing Rock. You don't think other oil millionaires said, "Hey, fuck those Indians. Here's $10 million, bro. Fuck those dudes." You don't think they work that way? That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, what you mean, big bro?
I'm saying like collectively, this oil company didn't take you on by himself. There was other oil companies that went, fuck those guys.
Yeah, of course.
Here's $5 million. Fuck it, that's on me. That's the way it works.
And the police that are sent there are.
What, you don't think they get bonuses?
You had police.
They get bonuses, and they're also like
who's giving
out
the bonuses?
Their racist fantasies.
Like, who's giving the bonuses to them?
Exactly. You fucking nailed it, Edgar.
I mean, honestly,
you nailed it.
The corporation
Bullseye.
pays for it all, guys.
Right?
Straight up.
Exactly.
It's a fucking oil corporation, guys.
They have money. They have economic power.
Akishita gets into this, but it gets into like as the footage progresses, it's like how much
they have economic power.
How many people arrested? What were the economic costs? So yeah, they have a lot of fucking money. They had a mercenary army. They
Absolutely.
had police from 30 different states, and the corporation had to pay. The fucking corporation paid for the police from.
But what they don't have, is our collective consciousness.
Definitely.
So,
well, this is the thing. People in all the gas stations around LA, there's kombucha, right? Like that's the thing. Like organic, healthy land things. People's consciousness is getting there.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are we focusing on? People are getting woke. Are we focusing on, let's learn about the soil for the kids. Let's nurture the soil, the seeds, and let the nurturing the seeds be ceremony. You know what I mean? Taking care of the seeds and exchanging the seeds.
But we haven't even built a house.
Economic things.
We haven't even built a house.
Building that. I mean, that's where we're at, big bro.
It's a group. It's a group of individuals that are doing their best without putting an economic plan on the front line.
But yeah, we need to gather a bunch of families, and then we have a tradition. Our people,
that's
like
a good one.
Tlatuanis. You know what I mean? Like those who would speak to the people like that. You know what I mean? And so we bring back that Tlatuani tradition.
Right.
And then the people get charged up and.
Yeah, it's all communal.
Yeah.
It's all communal. Is what I'm trying to say is that it comes with communal intention, communal contribution, and then how do we do it again? It's like the calendar. It repeats. It comes back and it does it again. And it does. You don't think after 4 or 5 of those parking lot events, we're not going to have an economic base to go, hey, bro, let's do the one in the land because we could pay $10,000 for the stage. We can pay so-and-so to do this. If we have no economic base, we're not going to do shit. And we're going to fucking run into a wall every single time. And then we wait for a fucking handout for this angel investor to come and believe in us. And that's the only one and only time that it becomes successful. But that angel investor's not going to be there for the long hard.
That's right. Marcus Garvey. That's right. Everyone look up Marcus Garvey, and then we're going to freaking have a book club.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what happened right now.
It's community, dude.
What's it going to be called?
Community.
What's the book club called?
It's going to be called In La Cash, I Am Another You, so that we can work together and understand that everything that we build is because I'm another you.
Wait, Theo, grandpa way. You heard it here first. Okay. And
anyone that's watching this right now, let us know that you're with us. Chime in the chat if you have any questions. We got Zero of El Vuh, we got Land is Rising.
If you're trying to tap into like community economic,
this is a great conversation, guys.
Tap in the chat.
I want them to
drop your email.
Look, this is exactly what
you know how the protest for the downtown protest, everybody got there, right?
What downtown protest?
Whatever, for fucking Black Lives Matter or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a protest, one of those big ones.
Bro, yeah,
right?
You gotta be like,
I was there every day.
You gotta be like the resistance of Black Lives Matter.
Okay, the resistance. I don't know the vernacular of that.
Not the vernacular. You just gotta be like.
I don't read about it. I don't even.
When we talk about other people's resistance movements, we gotta talk like ceremony.
Okay.
You know, I love
respect.
Yeah, just because
I know it's sensitive to you, but I study how like big elites use the stuff like this. I study how the manipulation.
We gotta give respect to get respect.
How like
and that's ancestral.
Martin Luther King was
Bouye
himself.
What do you mean Bouye?
Like a private club of Africans who control the masses of Africans.
Wait, you're saying MLK?
That's what they say. Yeah,
come
that's
on
what
now.
some of the research.
Come on
that's the research, brother.
Bruh, okay, this is where me and OG differ. Okay, MLK literally got killed when he started going with the garbage workers, with the people who picked up the garbage.
Absolutely.
With the people who were working as sanitation workers. When MLK started marching with them, they shot him. Right? Like,
I love him. I think he's inspirational.
I've heard a lot of people talk about MLK's legacy is now like, all our kids are gonna hold hands. And it's like, yes, he did believe all our kids should hold hands in a circle, and that was his prayer. But it was also like, he was really, really going into the capitalist system and talking about a lot of the same things we were.
But when senators, when senators quote him, when presidents quote him,
why would you even bring up the fact that he might have been like an op? Like, if we don't,
I'm not saying that he's an op. I'm saying that he was a part of something that maybe he didn't even understand. Because
it's not that he didn't
he was a part of. They were hitting them with
we can simultaneously acknowledge that he did his thing, which is completely positive and broke barriers. But that doesn't stop the system from warping the narrative as much as they possibly can, to the point where all like perception of truth is skewed in a way that we don't even know where the fuck we're looking at.
Exactly.
How the fuck? Can you say that again? Because I didn't understand that.
It's like this. It's like this. It's like this.
Shocked at the whole MLK.
It's like this. Let me make it very clear to you. Look, Land is right. I'll make it very fucking clear to you. When Joe Biden goes, MLK said, I had a dream, and this is America, and I believe that America is at that point. He's fucking using Martin Luther King's death, perversing it for a fucking
There we go.
neoliberalist
There we
capitalist
go.
system.
There we
That's
go.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I love you.
I'm not talking about
There it
that.
is in the
Because
chat.
honestly,
I'm talking about
yeah.
assholes who
what's
perverse
in the chat?
that they were down with Martin Luther King. They were not down with Martin Luther King because if they were down with Martin Luther King would have left hospitals ran by Africans. He would have left universities ran
Bro,
by
they
Africans.
killed him, bro.
No, I understand.
Bro,
But his
also
movement,
Tattoo the rap.
his
rap
movement,
now, bro.
his movement.
Honestly,
I'm not
bro, I
talking
will
smack
debate
about
with
Martin
you
Luther
anytime,
King, so
bro.
don't come to my DM and don't start saying that I'm bashing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Joe Biden, I'm saying that politicians and senators who fucking work for elites, who
I don't
exploit
give a
the
fuck
very
about
land that you're talking
anything
about.
except for cooperative community economics and soil. And honestly, homie in the chat, Tattoo, bro, I'm down to debate you any day, big bro. Drop in my DM on IG. I can't wait. We can talk about anything. You want to put me on game? I'm the type of person, I love to listen. I love to digest.
Right.
You know? And so.
But you're very, 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 very passionate.
I mean.
And that's good.
All I'm saying, yeah.
That's good.
I mean, yeah.
That's good.
Edgar, what do you think, bro?
Hey, brother, look, each
Edgar
one of you
has
guys have
spoken.
kids? You have kids? You kids?
No,
No,
not yet.
no kids, right? I have had kids. I have 4 kids. You
I got-
guys, you
yeah.
guys are another me. You guys are another
Yeah,
me.
we look up to you, bro.
Right.
Like that's why we're here.
When
'Cause
my children,
we are here for answers.
When
We're
my
here to-
children,
yeah.
when my children were 6 years old, they were bouncing all over the place looking for answers.
Yeah.
They
Like, that's the
couldn't
whole
understand
point.
it.
That's why I said at the beginning, our role is freaking. We take notes on the front lines. We just like.
Here's
do
one.
this shit.
Here's
Like,
one.
that's what
Here's
we do.
one. Rule one. Rule one on LA natives. Whether you're in the chat, whether you're in the chair, whether you're listening, whether you're this, you can disagree, but remember, we're brothers. We're brothers. No matter what, we're fucking brothers. Even if you fucking kiss Joe Biden's ass, we're brothers. I
Yeah,
just know
no,
what kind of brother you are.
Joe Biden is definitely whack.
Because we have people that believe in that kind of system, and I don't want to exclude them. This is a community. As long as they come, buy an agua fresca, buy your shirt, listen to your show, fucking pay whatever they need to do to get into your music. Maybe they're not
Bro,
militant.
I don't
maybe
care about
they're.
that, though.
Maybe you're just your music.
I want them to list. I don't like honestly, big bro. Like I don't want them to come and buy my merch or things like that. I want to put out stories of the people who like help give me life. You know what I mean? And rock it like that. Maybe they come and participate in seed exchanges and things like that. You know, maybe
However you
like
decide
when
to
you
do
talk,
your
when you
artistry.
talk about building those institutions for the children for Nawa that you're doing. You know what I mean? That I said, please, I want to help in any way.
Well,
you know what I mean? That type stuff.
It takes money.
It takes money for sure.
Yeah,
It takes
and it's my
everything we're
private
talking
investment.
about. Yeah,
it's my private investment
but
because
that's
I
something
believe
that
in it.
we need to start mobilizing behind as young people who are charged up. You know, that's something that is so beautiful. You know what I mean? So it's like that in the chat, like, you know, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
if
It's
you
like
yeah, that part.
I'm saying that, look, there's going to be, this is a friction, right? But a positive one, right? That
Bro, also
when
for
you hit
these,
the
for
web,
these people who think that people who have no kids can't say anything, bro, I guarantee you, Mr. Hector, you have done nothing compared to Fred Hampton, bro. Nothing. Homeboy was 21, bro. He got brought down as the third black Messiah. That's literally what the FBI said.
But he
on
was
him.
21.
He was 21, bro. He had thousands of people every day, every morning, singing and rising and jumping up and down, bruh.
I get it.
Bruh.
No,
bruh.
it's a passionate conversation,
Bruh.
and there's
Bruh.
gonna be, and that's, but that's
hey,
the point.
Hey guys, I don't have any kids either, so.
But that's the look.
Yeah. Oh man. Ooh. Come on now. And like,
I didn't-
we're not saying we know shit, but if
They
you're saying you know,
assassinated him, and he was only 21.
Look, guys, I brought up the kid thing.
Straight
I
up
brought up
The Black Panthers
I brought up the
opened up-
kid thing
yeah.
just because I actually have them.
No, I like to
And-
listen. I'm saying your people talk shit in the
and-
chat, and I just had to respond back. That's
I know,
all.
but don't
Yeah.
don't take it personal. That's rule
No,
number
no,
one.
no. Look, Leonard's
That's
right.
rule
It's
number
not
one.
that they're talking shit. This is a open forum.
Yes,
live
it's an open
podcast.
forum, baby. It's love. But you with us. If you're gonna say something, you might get something back. It's love.
Everyone in this chat right
it's
there
love.
is family. Like
Yeah.
this is
It's
this is
family,
the
but
tribe.
that's what I would say to my cousin, baby.
Yeah.
Like it's all good. I'd be like,
just
"Cuz,
don't take it personal
Yeah.
because
Fred
you know what,
Hampton-
bro? I've been on this.
yeah.
I've been in this chair where people are like offended about what I said, and it was like they took it completely wrong. And if you can't just know that everybody digests information
And guys,
on their own level.
And guys, if anyone's curious, just go on Instagram, and all you guys have to do is type in Land is Rising. Make sure you guys follow this man.
Yes, he's dope. He's a cool kid.
Honestly,
He's a
also
true inspiration.
follow Buffalo Defense. Buffalo Defense is
He's
our
a passionate individual.
We'll be protecting like the last.
He's very
Buffalo
passionate. I
herds.
love him. I care about him. I know he's going to be a great individual in this community.
Obsidian is like a collective of some
Obsidian,
frontline
Natani.
artists. Natani, Yaz, Cody Lusich, just really cool frontliners. They're stopping 10 coal mines that are being put on territory. You know what I mean? That's what they're working towards. So we need a lot of momentum there. So Obsidian, you can tap in the DMs. That'd be great.
Yep.
Buffalo Defense. These are the things that you should really. Pollinator Posse. Protecting like the 1,600 different native pollinator species. Like those are the things to tap into. I do make some music. People on the front lines really like some of my songs. We sing them together. Definitely like making music for the people, but yeah.
I never really participated in like a protest in that way at Standing Rock or even in the ice
There's
occupation.
just some things you gotta die for. You know what I mean?
But I did participate in the Peace and Dignity run.
Ooh, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
one of my uncles did that. I've heard amazing stories about that, bro.
Dude,
I want to go there with your nephew, Tochli.
Yeah.
That's
Peace and Dignity run was a whole different
amazing.
because it wasn't even a protest. It was more along the lines of a prayer.
Exactly. That's when it gets powerful. At Ice Occupation, it was all done as we could. We tried to in prayer, and it's hard to get people there. But like, can you tell us some stories and stuff?
Absolutely.
Like, that's what will be medicine.
Absolutely. So when they told me, oh well, the Peace and Dignity run is a run that starts in Alaska, and at that time I think it was going to end in Teotihuacan. I think it was going to end in Teotihuacan, but they were going to run from Chile, from Tesawantuyu all the way to Teo, and from Alaska all the way to Teo, and then put the staffs together right there at the temple
like that.
Well, as they go through each city and state, you can participate in carrying these staffs or carrying this prayer towards this intention. And it was because it didn't require you to run 5 miles. You can run half a mile as long as you contributed to that. They leave a marker, someone else will come in another car and pick you up, and it'll be like a relay race across the continent. There was a lot of disagreeing. There was a lot of fights. But the one thing that remained was that prayer to get those staffs to Teotihuacan. We have to use those type of intentions in healing our community and mending the wheel.
What would do?
And some ideas are going to be like ridiculous, and some ideas are going to be really good. But if we don't talk or collectively put together an intention that leaves a mark for the next 7 generations, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why you can disagree with me. You're still going to be on the seed.
I mean, we don't really disagree about much in this conversation. I had a lot of smoke for some of your peoples in the chat just because, I had to do that. But everything you said, I guess I kind of thought you said MLK was a op for a second, controlled by the FBI. But just to bring,
I don't know the details. But I know for a fact that people that are in positions
other
that
than
are
that,
elite,
everything you say, I'm behind for 100%. Anything you and your peoples need, I don't want to speak for Edgar, but we both look up to you, and we're ready to help link up some good things.
Absolutely.
And ride in any way.
And all we need is your participation, and what you said earlier is being happy and going to an event and enjoying yourself and meeting other young people and inspiring them and giving them your knowledge about growing, sharing the soil. That's how we cure the soil.
We gotta run together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the land, we gotta sing together on the land.
Absolutely.
We gotta plant together, just things like that. At least that's how I look at it.
I really consider you somebody that can make a change. You're very talented.
We all can, man. I'm just inspired by the peoples who I saw that are crazy. 17-year-old girls on security squad coming up with plans to break Buffalo free and run them at the police. Mm-hmm. Young women starting the runs. Young mothers from city to city, reservation to reservation, Dakotas. There's a lot of beautiful things, and so that stuff changed my life and gave me okay, well, there is hope of building some sense of better world, and there's a lot of heartbreak along the way because we do live in a crab in a bucket world, and scarcity is very traumatic, and shit can get fucked up real quick on many levels, and things are very corrosive. So yeah, it's very complicated.
I just
I don't have any answers.
If I were to put an analogy for the community and this conversation alone, it's like living on a reservation. And on that reservation, when they first put them up, they would bring blankets and flour, right? And that was their rations, whatever it was. Whatever it was.
A lot of reservations, like in the forts, literally. I have one of my good friends, Courtney Lilacs, who she's a badass. But like their people were locked in the forts, like starving, and they didn't feed them.
Absolutely.
And they had to break. And they had to break out of the forts, and they were like shot at as they broke out of the fort, and they were just like women and children. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were supposed to get certain rations, and that's what they live off of.
Yeah.
And that, and if you go, if you go, you know, when it started in the 1800s, and now boom, another 100 years, and now another 100 years, and now it becomes to 2021 where we're living off the rations. We expect the rations, and we get scared when the rations aren't there. But the rations aren't the only food. There's other things you can eat if you know about them. But if you're used to the rations, if you're used to the church, if you're used to the comfort of one day you will go to heaven, brought to you by a liar, rapist, thief, colonizer, you're always going to wait for the rations that they give you. Also, there's a bigger world out there, the macro vision. It's not yours, but you're a part of it.
And I think one thing we're a part of is, like, as John Trudell says, true power is in the elementals. Yes. And climate change is one of those elementals that has the power to bring the system to its knees, like we saw in Dallas, where everyone's cold, and all the federal government does like, we'll send like 80 generators and 250,000 instant ramen packets. Yeah, that's all we can do. So when the system starts breaking down, it's like, it's
your opportunity to take control, to take care of yourself.
Yeah, did we start building the systems now of regenerative infrastructure and community systems and that ability? So as shit gets worse, in some ways, it's actually our communities becoming more dynamic and more grounded and more rooted. You know, and that's what I'm honored to ride with you on. You know, in any way that
this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity for you to take care of your own self without having a narcissist tell you that, you know, this is the medicine. This is the way to eat. I'm just saying, when you're fed, and think of the city as a reservation, because they import the food, right? They tell us what to eat. These are our rations. And as soon as the grocery stores don't have fucking food, then what? We're like in our own little reservation, but we don't view it in that way, right? But there's a fucking overseer. Try to go outside and fucking bust a window.
Well, the one
you
thing
see the
too,
fucking cop pull up right away. So we're in a reservation right now.
We don't have our sovereignty like reservations have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing.
But they have their poverty, and they have other ways. They're starving them out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, for example, Ridge. You know, I have a Mexica fam over there who has some kids, you know, and they're really beautiful cousins of mine. It's like 85, 90% unemployment, you know.
Yeah, they're poor.
And so at the same time, there's a lot of hope, because there's a lot of young people who've been fired up, you know what I mean, from things like Ashedi Sokoan, from things like Standing Rock, and when it comes down to these cooperative businesses and stuff, that's why we actually need to,
so,
you know,
as you say that,
start researching on that.
As you say
there's
that,
potential.
there was a movement in Mexico to save the land of Virikuta, right? You know what Virikuta is?
Put me on game, please.
Okay, so Virikuta is the sacred land where the peyote comes from, right? And so there was a Canadian mining company wanting to mine, or was already mining, this sacred land. It's a very important part of the world. And so my friends who were musicians in Mexico created a movement behind it called Ajo Colectivo. And they created songs, and they created a really big movement to the point where they filled the Estadio de Mexico, right? The Foro de Mexico, which is like the Coachella type stadiums, right? 60,000 people went. They had Virikuta Fest, and they were their thing was.
What did that festival look like, big bro?
It was huge. It was like a Coachella. But
so it was
here's
like a
the point.
Coachella of danzantes or what?
No, it had a bunch of like the huicholes. The huicholes came down from like all of Virikuta, and they were selling their mercancía. They were selling their clothing, their necklaces that they make, everything, anything they knew, they brought it to that festival, and they fucking just took it back home. Whatever resources they made in terms of money, they took it back to their land, right? But this whole movement, my point of what I'm saying is, they were all fired up, just like you. Man, we got to defend the land, defend the land, defend the land. No. The fucking main guys, the main abuelos. No. We don't defend the land. The land defends us. We can't defend the land.
Bro, I feel you, big bro. I feel you. And it's like this. The land gives us a chance at life. So in California, our water reserves are all threatened because of how water is managed.
Right.
So it's like this.
There was a reason why he said that.
Put me on game, yeah.
The reason why he said that is because if you put yourself in a negative connotation, it will continuously, infinitely be there. So you have to have a different perspective of how to defend, knowing that she's on your side. The macro's there. It's not yours. You're a part of it. But that's how she helps us defend. Because the minute we say we defend the land, that means we're greater than the land, that the land is weaker than us. And that is never true. The land is way, way, way older and way, way, way stronger and way, way bigger than we understand. That's what he was saying.
On 10,000.
That's what he was saying. Do you understand that concept?
Yeah, that's what, yeah, that's it.
Honestly, I feel uncomfortable with it. I feel like I understand the concept of the planet, of course, but I mean the point of like saying that there will always be a negative connotation. I feel like doesn't matter the connotation. There's no greater cause than to resist and protect the thing that you love.
Right.
And then we need to protect the
Understood.
land.
With her power.
With her power, we're always humble.
He's just
but,
saying with her power.
You know, we are ultimately her warriors and that's the queen, you know.
Right.
We must, you know,
right.
die for the queen if necessary.
Right.
Things must happen.
Mm-hmm.
Things must happen to protect not only ourselves,
the grandma,
but the thing is that all of the other of Pachamama's children, all the animals with their souls and their spirits, they're sacred. All their habitats are being destroyed. Everything's being destroyed. So I feel like, I honestly feel as if the time is now to where there's enough numbers and enough passion to begin to move forward in a way that will ultimately make us more powerful.
The only way to do that, and I think, is to convince everyone that being clean energy, organic food, all these things are going to have to take precedence. But you have corporations that are going, well, I can make that cheaper and I could sell it to you cheaper and I could do that. And so becomes a mind fuck forever.
What about education?
The corporations are the ones who are creating the most waste, and
absolutely,
they're the ones who they create more waste and destruction to the earth than like people who are like than everyday people ever can.
That's a great point, and also something that I like to bring up. Some of my people were telling me how when you look at, for example, in Brazil, mining companies or mining companies in South Africa, corporations have this playbook where they'll say things like, "We value the land." They'll almost execute like World Wildlife Fund-esque campaigns on a press level. They'll say things like, in an individual level, they'll highlight the most wasteful behaviors of that local people and say, we need to stop this. So like you're saying, the corporations are doing the most, and then they identify it on the little people. So I'm with you on the regenerative infrastructure, and we need it on that level. But really where I find a lot of hope is in the education systems. When people talk about place-based curriculum or project-based curriculum, there's this documentary called Schools That Change Communities. It's really fire. It's kind of fucked up because it's behind this like $200 paywall, so if you get past it, just pirate it and spread it to all your peoples, like that, you know what I mean? But
there you go.
It basically goes into like different marginalized communities where life is hard, you know, Appalachia, a couple different hoods, things like that, and the kids learn reading and writing and math and fractions, science, by addressing community issues, by healing up a creek and then learning math that way, or baking bread for the elders and delivering it to the community, and that's fractions and things like that. So when you mix that and then with the ancestral things like Anahuacameka, or like the Nawa institutions that you're kind of pushing forth, Masatsin and others, then it gets real powerful. Yeah.
And it's not specific to a specific race, because I could see African Americans learning, Asian individuals
just a human thing. It gives us a place
It's
of
human.
purpose.
It's a
like,
humanism.
Instead of just learning in a classroom, it's like we can learn by making
Right.
our community more beautiful.
So-
and that's what we bring up our youth in.
I'm
Instead
glad
of
that-
like kids in prisons, because that shit's fucked up.
Right.
you know?
I'm glad that you kind of got that understanding and then. But what I wanted to bring into full circle is I understood with the abuelos, and this is just my perspective and my opinion. Community, Land Rising, Edgar. This is just my opinion, but I kind of conceptualize what they meant. We cannot ever defend her. She defends us. How do we do that? Well, John Trudell said it. John Trudell said, we are her minerals. We are her minerals.
The minerals, metals, and liquids of the earth.
Exactly. The minerals, metals, and liquid. I love this dude. He knew exactly what I was talking about, right?
Trudell's one of my favorites.
All
I
right.
actually got
So-
the chance to like move out
so
some stuff from one of the old houses once, and I was just so happy. I was like, I'm in John Trudell's old house, JT.
Right.
Yeah. Some of the grandmas I really loved that used to be on hunger strikes and stuff. They were at some front lines
So
with him.
repeat
Yeah.
one more time.
JT.
What was it? What did he say? We were the
metals,
minerals, and liquids of the earth, right? We are the metals, minerals, and liquids of the earth.
Yeah, on
the
YouTube,
ancient Mexica
he has a lot of
understood
speeches.
that, because their foods were very high in mineral. Spirulina is very high in mineral. Macaroon, cacao, chia seed,
Yeah, stories of chia being prayed over and people doing many days. Or
amaranto.
Yeah, being made into like, structures, like literal statues of the grains,
Right.
people praying over it, and then families being able to take. I love those.
They're very hot. There's a reason why, because we are the minerals, metals, and liquids of the earth. We're actually that. So the ancestors went, well, what are the foods that are high in that? Why? Because they're going to enter our bloodstream, our sacred river. And that river is connected to gravity. And gravity pulls at what? Metals. Gravity pulls at metals. You put a magnet and metal, it'll go like that. So the abuelo said, we're going to create a big city, but they can't be starving. And they got to be healthy. So we got to give them lots of what she is. Because we're going to create a society connected to her. Literally with common sense science, not science. Common sense. If we eat a lot of mineral in our blood, then the gravity pull will be just a little stronger. Keeping your appetite down. Less resources you need to pull from her. It's a symbiotic relationship, just like you were explaining the way the cell works and it penetrates and does its thing. It's the same thing with humans, because all humans are is water, fire, earth, wind, combined together, experiencing itself. So we take that understanding that the abuelo said, never defend, work with. Then what? Eat more mineral, pray with her, use the crystal, eat her peyote.
Wait, what do you mean by crystal, big bro?
Whatever you pray with, whatever gives you strength in your spirit. You know what I mean? I use like amethyst.
I like plants.
I use amethyst, yeah.
I like to go up in the hills and then, like, for example, when I find my sage, like the sage plants, the parts of the leaf that are already dry, that aren't living no more, take it like that.
Yeah.
Especially after a rain, sometimes the whole stalks get off, just like that.
Yeah. A connection, a deeper connection.
Yeah, when you go to a new area, walk through the forest, until you find some sap.
Yeah.
And that sap is real good, sweet smelling for your smudge. And also when you go into lodge, you can put some on the rocks like that.
Yeah. There you go. You see? It's connection. That's what he meant. Exactly what you're just describing. Find your power to go to this intention, but using her as your energy. Not where she's weak. She's not weak. She's strong. One little fucking shake for 1 minute, we're done. One little explosion of a volcano, strong enough, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. There's nothing. What brought the Romans down was a catastrophic disaster that could not. It was a volcano. Boom. Fuck them all up.
I don't think that's what it was.
But one of the reasons,
Yeah,
right? You remember Pompeii, right?
Pompeii was bad. I think it was a bad bureaucracy, and then also they started being ravaged by like barbarians of Europe, and so nowadays like Europeans like to think like, oh yeah, we came from like the Romans, but like now the Romans hated y'all because y'all were like burning down their cities because y'all were mad.
I'm sure that the rabbit hole goes deep down that story. I don't really study too much of it, but I understand.
I made the mistake of studying too much Greek history, and then like now I don't like any Greek history.
But Pompeii fucked them up big time. You know that whole
it buried a lot of people all in ashes. Yeah, definitely. I'm just saying I don't think it brought down the empire.
Even though, like it happened here too, with our constructs. You know, Masatzin when he describes the Olmec to the Toltec to the Maya, then becoming the Aztec, in our mind we go, oh wow, that was pretty obvious, but the length of time and information and disagreement and whatever, you could even go into dark magics, right? Because they all exist.
Yo, wait, what you mean in this context?
Well, we didn't have a concept of heaven where nothing exists that wasn't, you know what I mean? There's always somebody there. Whether it's your own color or not, there's always somebody there. You go to Sundance, right? Oh, you've been?
I haven't Sundance yet. I'm gonna keep fire.
No, but you've been too.
Yeah.
They call a Hayoka for a reason. You know what Hayoka is, right?
Yeah.
So they call him for a reason. There has to be that balance there. There has to be. And you gotta be within that realm. It's your job to be trucha, not to be dominant, but to be trucha. To know, to be aware. That's why they put us on a hill by ourselves for 3 days. Umblecha. You're to find out these old scientists, these old sciences, these old connections to the earth and the universe by yourself. To become your own scientist.
Is it really by ourselves though? If when we go on Umblecha, we got our OGs at the bottom of that hill praying for us, baby.
Yes, we do. Yes, you do. And you're not by yourself. You're right. See, but that's the collective consciousness that we're telling you.
When you put those prayer ties down, you know what I mean?
But you're not dedicated or devoted or indoctrinated by me. Your own wisdoms come into your own heart.
I mean, I'm just like a young buck who's talking with someone who I look up to.
You know what I mean?
Like that.
Yeah. That's our job, is to inspire your heart and to your heart take its own path and its own road. We have no indoctrination. Even though as much as I know and as much as I love Masatzin, he's not my master. No one is. There's only one master, and that's that great Tonatu who tied a string to my heart and gave me an intention.
And just like our people didn't have kings.
Yeah, we didn't. No,
queens.
absolutely not.
We had Tlatuanis. We had people who spoke to the people. And at least how it was explained to me was it was like of warriors who did good things for the people, and they were both male and female, and I'm sure even two-spirit Tlatuanis, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's a beautiful legacy too, of like those who speak to people, and just imagine all the different ways that would change our society if we thought about leadership like that, you know?
And we can.
Yeah.
And it's there.
And I love the listening too.
It's there. You guys are doing the work. You guys are doing what you need to do.
We're a part of it, and we're trying to figure it out. Yeah. And I think that
as long as we become family,
it's gonna be stronger. Oh man, already.
Family, trusted. Remember, we protect each other. Remember, some decisions are better to be talked to by a council. You know what I mean?
Oh man, all decisions.
There
honestly,
if you have that already mentality, then you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, I've seen like really beautiful compounds fall because people wanted to adopt like a big man mentality instead of like a council mentality. And then it goes from like 50 youth who are really inspired to like not really anything there.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to keep you guys inspired. Yeah. We want to go, hey man, I put my booth up at the LA Natives event. I came home and I made $1,000, and guess what? I did that. I went and I got these kids, and I fucking whatever your heart tells you, bro. You just got to contribute it. That's all. There's no judgment here. That has to be done. Division brought by Roman Catholics is over. If you still think like that, you're going to run into walls. It's a communal effort. It always has been. It's always been there. We felt alone because we were orphaned.
I feel like a lot of people are really hesitant, or they resist letting go of what they've been taught about morality and spirituality and life from the Bible.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, I feel personally like if you truly want to understand an indigenous perspective, you have to be able to move away from that in a way that it doesn't interfere with how you perceive the way people of this land understood things.
What is God but the water?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like when you look at the ecosystems thriving together, like that's such a beautiful creation. You know, so yeah.
It's
10,000.
our thing is to once again mend the wheel, invite the youth, invite tremendously talented individuals who have opinions like Edgar. You know, this guy's an amazing guitarist. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. He's really dedicated himself to his craft like I've dedicated myself to my lyrics, and Land is Rising has dedicated himself to his work in the community and his art. With this intention, if we can focus it in, and right now we're focusing it on LA natives on this podcast. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, you come, and if we can create a viable market, you know that you have two very talented businessmen in Armando and in myself, who is an artist. And I've dedicated 25 years to this community. I do not want a Bentley. I do not want a big house. I could think of a billion other ways to do that for myself than my music. My music, it's my purest intention. So if someone ever asked me, and if I ever got popular enough to do one song to change a reality in a community, I would do it in a second and not worry about that revenue forever, because that's my gift to the next 7 generations. That's the type of intentions that need to come out of us. And that's the type of intentions that I see with both of you. Just keep going. We're here. It's time. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
What would do?
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
I love you too. I love everybody out there.
Can I go grab my computer and maybe send y'all like unreleased song?
Absolutely.
Play it?
Oh, do you have that song? Dude, can you do that?
All you have to
You
do
gotta
is
hear that fucking song. He's
email
gonna
us the
email
link.
it. Email that song to Armando right now. That fucking song, when he played it at Natani's fucking show, it was like amazing. Edgar, I'm gonna put you on the spot. We gotta
What's
do
up,
a
bro?
song, me, you,
Hell yeah, bro.
Land is Rising, Quito Soul. What do you think?
I'm with it.
All right. And we're gonna do those intentions, bro.
Absolutely.
And you could create any reality you want. It doesn't have to be this reality. This is the reality that my abuelo put in my heart and my blood.
I
But
just
it's
want to
all welcome.
I just want to let anyone know, if you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button, share the video, leave a comment on our YouTube as well. Anyone on Twitch, make sure you share our Twitch channel, hit that like button, share the video. This is an iconic episode here, guys.
Dude, I mean, Land
one
is
of the
Rising.
most amazing conversations we've had so far.
It's because we're mending the wheel, man. It's time. It's time to mend the wheel. Look at your son as not someone you need to dominate or just love him. Connect. Connect like you would connect to your favorite ball game or your favorite best friend or whatever the fuck, man. But connect to your kid. That's number one. And I am not the best at it, but I try my ass. I try. I really do. I really try to look into their eyes and know that that connection is there, because it helps me connect with people like Edgar, Land is Rising. I give that same look to you guys because I love you guys. You're my community. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, bro.
You're my community. That's all I could do. You know, that's it. That's all it is. Maybe a cool song, maybe a nice dinner, maybe whatever it is that it is. But I love the community we're building. I love the community like Richie, 1492. Man, that fucking guy, he's so smart. I love that dude. I love this brother right here that we just met. I love Natani Means. I love Snotty Nose. I love everybody that's participated in Cosmic Force. Jack, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then Sub One. I mean, we have a really large community, bro. It's starting to become something very big. And I'm excited that you're here, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
I thought you would be here with Broken Arrow, but hey,
Earth Arrow.
Earth Arrow. Earth Arrow, bro.
Broken Arrow's the movie, bro.
That's right. I kept saying that. You told me that the other night, bro. So, anyways, Broken Arrow. That was a cool name too, though.
Earth Arrow.
Earth Arrow. Look, I heard this song the other night. I hope fucking Land is Rising could play it because that song was fucking fire, and I can't wait till we work together.
Can I play it too?
Yeah, sure.
But I'm gonna start with your song.
All right, please, because that's like a fire ass song. Man, I feel like a kid when I hear that song, bro. I started jumping, like I started screaming. I start looking silly. That shit is fire,
bro.
That shit's hard. You know.
Man, wait. So is this gonna go on like YouTube forever? Can I play like a song?
It is going on.
Can I play a song or two on live stream, and that we take off from the YouTube thing?
Can you edit that?
Because I don't think.
Or does it just go out automatically? Yeah, he's not gonna edit it. So be careful what you release. Cause
wait, man, my management might not like me right now.
What?
But what you want
Look.
allowed to do is do 15, 20 second snippets.
Huh?
That's what you're allowed to do.
To what?
Like if you want to play unreleased.
I don't know. That song was fucking fire, bro. And hey, look, if they get mad at you,
Yeah, my point is this: like, will people just be able to listen to the song by going to the podcast?
yeah.
Can we just like take out the audio for that section?
No, unfortunately we can't.
Bro.
Don't trip, bro. That song was fucking sick. Look, homie's gonna release some music soon. He's excited. He wants to show everybody, but like,
Look, bro.
Land
look.
is Rising. The
Let me
homie's
tell you one
gonna
thing.
release
Look,
some music.
Land. Look
Like-
at Land. Hey, bro. Land, bro.
Come on now. This is the 21st century, fam.
I got you. Hey, bro, but to release a song, bro. I mean,
It will come out at the right time. And I have like people who really trust and believe in me, who have given me like a lot of access to the making of that song.
Right.
Where I just can't like release things like that.
Absolutely.
And so
Oh, man,
I
but
have people's trust and stuff. That's the only, I'm not trying to sound like a petulant. That's the only thing I'm trying to navigate.
dude.
No worries for Edgar.
No, wait. Look, if I had 10,000 followers.
Wait, so it all is live right now,
Yes,
right? So that's okay. But when you put up the version on YouTube, can you just take out the audio after like, I don't know, maybe the hook, keep the hook so people can listen to the snippet, right? Keep like 30 seconds of the song and then mute the audio of the rest of it.
You gotta unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
So unfortunately, this is how it works. As soon as it's live, as soon as it's cut, it's already up. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I can't take that video down and re-upload it. It defeats the purpose of all of our episodes. You feel me? So this is a learning curve. Next time, if you don't want to release the whole song, because you didn't intentionally release a song, you know what I'm saying? You just give us a sneak peek of this track.
And you sang
which is
over
a good
it.
thing. And you sang over it too.
So it's not like just the track.
And if anyone decides to type it up on YouTube, they won't even be able to find it on our channel.
Yeah, I feel you.
The song is not going to be promoted. But I'm sorry that you didn't know that. Believe me, I did not want to bait you into.
Can I play one more that like I can put out though?
Absolutely. Hey, brother, wait.
But
I want you to go through your fucking Rolodex in your head, bro, because look, you're talented, brother. That song's fire. Whether you release it right here on fucking LA Natives, that's a fucking honor, bro, because this community is not going to exploit you ever. Ever. Ever.
Right?
We would never exploit you. Even if tomorrow you wake up and that fucking song is viral and it's hitting 50 million,
That just
I
means
would
we got
never.
a lot more funding for land compounds if it's
But
like that.
you
So
know
it's
that
gonna
I
be
would
good.
never exploit you.
No, I look up to you, man. It's
I
dope.
would never.
Yeah, so
I love that fucking song. I just heard it and you played it, so I just went with it, bro. Hey, anyways, play whatever you want, but just make sure you fucking want to play it.
Man,
fucking guy. I love the youth. I love you, Land Rising. Land is Rising. I love you, bro.
I love you too, bro.
Good. No misunderstanding. That was learning curve, Armando. We gotta ask these people when they play music, hey, make sure that you know it's going to live and it's going to fucking.
Exactly.
I got one more.
All right,
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You guys want to hear one more?
Let's do it.
This guy's dope. I'm never heard this song.
I fell in love with Bear, cause she been talking to the rain. Wonder all this concrete always come with some pain. And maybe in the mud we could wash away the stains. Forevermore, forevermore. Oh, they keep us stressed out. And this poison in the water, it's fucked up. Yeah, yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, yeah. You got rivers in your veins and they sing still. Lord knows this baritone painful. It's our little mama fell in love with pain pills. Like this land when it longs for the rain still. How you poison all the keys and cut down all the trees. Some it gets so cold, I know you're solid once you leave. We got young ones to ride for and good smoke in these leaves. These ops ain't fucking with me, these ops ain't fucking with me. Hey, I remember mercenary federal. When the tanks came, grandma let them know. They killed their god a long time ago. As this concrete virus surely shows. But if you look to the sky and saw to them trees, all this mud is heaven still. You got your breath from them leaves. And every time them birds sing, I remember to believe we are embers still. Baby, you was ember. But is you ember still? We was embers. I think we embers. You got rivers in your veins and they sing still. Lord knows this baritone painful. It's our little mama still in love with pain pills. Like this land when it longs for the rain still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But mama, I'm just water in a galaxy that got us fucked up. They keep us stressed out.
You're fucking dope, bro. I love your lyrics, bro. Your lyrics are, dude. It's like fuck, man. I came into my head. I want to say it, but don't take it wrong, okay?
Oh man, put me on game.
Okay. This song reminded me of maybe walking down the street, right? And I see this maybe houseless person. Not saying that that's what you are, but you stop and you listen to what he's saying and you go, man, this is the freest guy in the world. He knows what's up. He knows that he doesn't need that. That maybe he just needs what he has with him, with his heart, the important items on him. Maybe his guitar, but he has freedom.
For me, it's interesting how people perceive anything, right?
Right.
The smoky mirror, right? The Shlalipoka type. So for me, it's just a song like this world is very painful, and understanding that and letting people feel that, and then also just pointing out some of the beauty too, the beauty way there, you know?
Exactly my point.
But
people that are in those situations go through a lot of pain.
Well, yeah, definitely. But it's like all people go through a lot of pain. Like, you know what I mean? That's why like young people are sipping lean. That's why like, you know what I mean? That's
in
why
their own way, they're that way.
There's a lot of pain, you know? So just being real with that, not trying to run away with that, but using that to get strong. And I've been around just like miracles where like 40, 50 youth, you know, processing a lot of trauma, you know?
Yeah, because you write songs like that. I mean, writing a song like that, you could agree with me, right, Edgar? Edgar's a freaking...
I wrote that after one of those compounds, you know, building that out. Edgar's
comment on his lyricism, Edgar, for a second, because
I love bro.
You know what I
that
love
song,
about the way,
especially that song. What do you think?
I just love the way...
Did you get my analogy?
Yeah, bro. I feel like his like... It's like his cadence and his delivery to what he says is... I love how much he's saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? The fact that you're able to put so much lyrics in there.
Yeah. Bob Dylan.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Don't you think? Like
Yeah.
Bob Dylan-ish, but not like Bob Dylan.
Actually, I don't know what you mean by the Bob Dylan
Just
thing.
a lot of lyrics, like you said, like a lot
Yeah.
of lyrics.
I actually honestly don't really listen to Bob Dylan.
Well, it's bad. I'm a connoisseur of all music, brother. And
Right,
so
I hear that.
when it comes to lyricism, I even listen to Boring Cats because I want to know what they're saying. I want to know what they're trying to convey. And it felt like a very wise soul, very free, and very observant. But when you're observant, you know, people who observe on a level that's beyond normal are people who have been hurt and at a very young age, which is what we've all suffered through during genocide. This is a genocide. It hasn't stopped. And if you fucking think it stopped, you need to do your history. That's all. But
Absolutely.
his song, a surviving, infinite, you know, powerful song. I mean, I'm blown away by this dude. I'm a big fan of him. I'm glad he came and he shared his music and music that he wasn't supposed to share.
And you know, my goal, guys, is to eventually, you know, headline him.
Yeah.
At a club.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole goal.
Create a community.
Me as a promoter.
Yeah. He's dope. He's dope as
It's coming, Landers Rising. Watch, best believe that.
Yeah. Once we create the community,
your penmanship, your blades are so sharp right now. And that's what I look for in an artist. You know what I'm saying?
He
and
has it all.
And someone like me actually seeing him perform live, it was such an honor.
Yeah. It was dope. And he hasn't really rocked that many shows, right?
That was a dope show, yo.
See, Shoot This Guy and this guy.
We just had him on the podcast.
I know, dude.
I built a compound out with that dude once. He's a pretty cool dude. I like him because he's my only brother I've met in this life, where when we play one-on-one basketball, we're just like singing different Nawa songs and like calling in different
that's
spirits
funny.
and going at each other.
Yeah.
He's one of the best people to ever like sing traditional songs and play basketball with. So I challenge you right now, Juteska, to a rematch. I know, you know, I may have lost 2 matches. But yeah, I'm talking about, you know, for charity rematch one of these days. You know, you pick your 3, I got my 3, or we could do ones. Either way, let's do the traditional pickup basketball tournament, because I was just talking to some Res Ball affiliate homies.
Yeah.
So I love that dude.
Absolutely.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
know?
you remind
he-
me a lot of him.
He has that Tlatuani energy,
Mhm.
because ever since that boy 6 years old,
Mhm.
he's been speaking to the people really well. You know, so I have a lot of respect for him.
Absolutely.
You know?
He is, I'm telling you, bro, like everybody's here and we're building the community and there's good intentions here, you know, and, you know, man, I just wish people really put in their heart how genius our people were, because we weren't good at just one skill. We were good at multiple skills.
So Jose in the chat says, in all respects, it reminds me of Revolution.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's a good comparison.
Bro, my
Those guys
cousins
are
used to-
mega big, bro. I've seen them rock 10,000
My
crowds,
cousins love them,
15,000
bro.
crowds, bro. Like
I've been like deep in the forest with my cousin, just bumping.
Soulja,
that.
dude. You have like Soulja's voice,
Man, I'm
dude.
honored.
Like
Yeah, those
guys are
I
like
gotta
on
listen
that
to them
level.
more for
Yeah.
sure. I know they're really
The
you know,
early stuff, the later stuff is like a lot more produced, but the early stuff that Soulja did, man,
Man,
it has
y'all
that.
gotta hear my homegirl Tia too. Tia Woods, she's like one of the best voices in the game.
I saw her live.
Incredible.
Yeah, I saw her
and
live.
We have a couple songs coming out, you know, with her
Right
too.
on.
Hopefully, they're in the bag.
Edgar, you brought your guitar. Did you want to play it?
He's a young god. He played that,
Bro, my amp is in my car, bro.
You wanna go get it?
Nah, it's all good if you want.
Edgar's been doing 500 push-ups a day.
What the fuck?
He started from 200.
And
though.
keep in mind, guys.
Yeah, no,
When
he
Landon Rising saying that she performed, Edgar was right with her. Like his guitar play was
her and
was
Edgar put the song on
phenomenal.
Instagram, and like within like 24 hours, it got like almost 30,000.
Tia's an amazing singer.
Tia,
an amazing singer,
talented.
and I love what she's about and what she's trying to write songs about. You know.
But you know what?
real.
An amazing singer, a cappella, is different from with an amazing guitarist.
It's
and you
really
get the
easy
rhythm. You get the
writing
rhythm.
music with her.
Yeah.
She just is so intuitive.
Yeah.
So expressive. She knows how to control her voice. And she's got a great voice. And what she sings about is deep and beautiful.
Nice.
You know, that's what I've really enjoyed about working with her, writing songs with her. And like that show with you guys, that was like her first show not performing indigenous music. You know, like singing like music that she's written.
Wow. She was really good. I liked her.
She is incredible.
Really
Low key, I'm gonna have like a Fuji's type album with her at some point, like a little mixtape, like on everything.
I mean, you're
I'm
coming up
for you, Tia.
You're,
Tia, I love. She's a little sis too.
You're
like,
coming up at a
if
time.
anyone ever fucks with Tia, she's got like at least 30 warriors who would fuck shit up for her. So like, yeah, she's a little sis for sure.
Yeah.
That just goes out to the whole game.
I have to ask though, have you ever dabbled into rap, hip hop?
Oh, me? In terms of like, I mean, I like 808s. I grew up in bands, so like playing acoustic guitar, playing keys, songwriting.
That's right.
But I love 808s, you know what I mean? For sure. I love freestyling, you know what I mean? I love freestyling on my peoples. Like, if you want to throw a beat on, I could do some shit. You know
That's
I mean?
right. You're right.
Yeah.
No, I was just curious.
Can you throw on something crazy for me, though?
Oh, man.
No, I'm talking about crazy, like something that you could be like, perfect on. And could you also say like, perfect at different points, too? Like a crazy beat like that.
What the fuck?
I don't think we have that.
That's my dream. No, he does. This is a master, man.
Yeah, but we only program certain beats for this pad, so there's like that's why they keep repeating.
No, he's played some fire beats
Oh,
over this course.
let's see.
I've been like, I need the freestyle. I've almost
Okay,
freestyled
put-
like 3 or
put-
4 times
let's
over this
see.
entire like show.
No. He's talking about the homie, your producer homie that gave us beats. Ooh, the homie that gave us beats. Did you play?
Oh, Profound.
He's talking about Profound
I mean,
beat.
honestly,
One of those pads that you hit, he listened to and he wants to freestyle.
You
over
should
it.
just play one of your favorites, and I will bless it with a freestyler too.
Watch the one that we always
For the grandmas.
the one with the
and
piano.
grandmas.
All right, let's take a look.
For my brother Wajingoda, for the homie Ohita.
This one?
No, not that one.
That one's fire too.
I think it's this one.
Oh man, no, this one is like what you sip lemonade to on a porch, bro.
Is it this one?
Let me see if I can pull something up on
This one.
YouTube, guys.
Wasn't this it? Wait. No.
He wants a hardcore beat.
Wait.
He wants a hardcore
I mean,
hip hop beat.
Yo,
All right, put Curanderos. There's a Curanderos one in there. Curanderos. He's gonna like that one. And then you can put the Necro
I'm
one.
used to someone just putting on a beat that's so undeniably fire that then I have to freestyle.
Not that one.
No.
The other one. Watch.
I mean, that one is fire.
Not that one. This one.
Yeah.
And I'm praying for my brother Dan. I got just a federal. Yeah. Yeah. Praying for my brother Dan. I don't trust federal none. Chemical running the noise. So it been killing the glow. So what's in your soul? Yo, I know they control. So what's in your soul? Go ball on the soul. I have to know. Shawty was dying your soul. I've been talking down to the meat sleep, smoking on some this sweet tea. Light skin down, will you meet me? Revolution have begun. On the way up to the sun. All my water, lot of run. So I'm running with my brother then. If he stumble then I'm praying with the thunder. Why though? I didn't carry no rifle.
Honestly, that beat and I got around like, I'd say that was like a 5 out of 10 freestyle. So can you just bless me with like a really crazy beat so I can redeem myself? Thank you. I love you, bro.
Man, you just smashed that right
No,
there.
That wasn't a smash. That wasn't a smash. I love you guys a lot. Yeah. No, because usually it's love. We need some
Harder.
Bro, all the old heads are gonna be like, this should have been the beat. You don't respect good beats, young one.
Nah.
Yeah, that's
They
what
shouldn't.
they'll be
There's
like.
no judgment here, bro. It's all having a good time.
Bro. I'm gonna play Hector one-on-one in basketball and talk to him about Fred Hampton the whole time. Yeah. I challenge you too, young Hector.
Damn, that girl makes some fucking sick ass beats. This fucking beat is sick.
I've been thinking about the tragedy. Why they sound the same like a factory? And my brothers and lobotomy. So question just what your mythology. And pipe I always saying follow me. And the lies on the silver screen. Put your backseat out that limousine. And then they kill you just like a Kennedy. Oh my love. See how they been hoping for us to rust. But just put some water on the dust. And then it be mud. All the life onto the sign. Revolution had begun. And my shawty got a gun. Grandma know just what I'm on. I need some answers, so I've been talking to grandma. I need some answers, so I've been talking to grandma. Grandma telling me just to ride that. And my little cousin was a sniper. Careful just for the vipers. Get so cold in my veins, stuck in terrain. All I know pain really strong. So I've been singing my songs. Nah, I've been trying to right my wrongs. Nah, it hot in my nose and my glow, no. And the soldier, the shawty, she been shining like solar. And careful just what you told her. Big bro moving back like a boulder. He was trapping like he Mozart. What's the word? What's the word? Hey.
Do Tlatuani like you were using.
What I need. Tlatuani shawty, know you out there. Something died from the Pleiade. Got my energy like the three of me. Tlatuani shawty. Tlatuani shawty. Tlatuani shawty. Tlatuani shawty. I know my shawty, she speak all to the people, she make them more strong. I know you singing your song, I know you singing your songs, I know you singing your songs, I know she's singing the songs, Pray that you're singing your songs,
That was sick.
Wow.
yeah.
Guys,
He's fucking sick.
everyone tuning in, give us a thumbs up in the comment section if you guys are feeling it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Give us a thumbs up, guys.
Is rising.
Land is rising.
He's sick. You're dope, bro. I like your style.
Man, I mean, I'm just like
Like your
freestyling
style.
with it. You know, I love freestyling. It's just to show my commitment to the culture of freestyling.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I hope to represent.
It's a new
on
version of freestyling because usually, you're used to like a hip hop kind of version, but you're like singing your heart out, man.
I mean, wait, play something crazy, bro. Play something modern, bro.
He's like, you know what I mean? You're improvising, bro. That's
Yeah.
just
Play
tight,
something
man.
crazy, bro.
You know what?
But with lyrics,
we have to
too.
wrap it up. We got like 5 minutes left, guys.
Give me one more, bro. Give me one more that's like a modern beat, bro.
Like who? Like Kid Cudi or something like that?
No, maybe like someone that I could rap on, like something that's fire.
Just think of a name.
DJ Premier, some DJ Premier.
Okay, there you go. DJ Premier instrumental. There you go. Boom. Because you said something crazy and we don't know what that means. But damn, bro.
I mean, right now, like,
it's fucking dope. You're pretty good. You're really good, actually.
I mean,
you're really good. You're gonna do very well. Just take care of yourself. Make good decisions.
Oh, 10,000. Well, that's
You know
why I
what I
got
mean?
like
He's
good
got
people
this.
around me. Yeah. Ooh.
There you go. Boom. DJ Premier, bro. You said it.
What's the word?
Yo. Now what?
Oscillo. All of my people gon' ride along, Oscillo. Most of them boy, they just suck a lot, Shawty, I know that she know, Sounding she sweet like guava. If she got problem, I solve it. I've been just smoking, I'm bowling. And my cousin like a Spartan. All this pain, they wanna harden. I'ma solve it. Let's trade the fours though. Let's trade the fours though. Let's go back and forth on fours one
Oh my God!
Yeah,
You're
let's do it.
putting-
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
There you go.
Talking to the zero, no he is my hero. Why they all these young kids chasing after Nero? So I had to rhyme, had to rap, had to habitat, had to ride for the land, I had to grab up on the gat.
Yeah, here we go. Yo. The teachers are the trees and the guides are the flowers. Mama Tonalmachiotl holds the shift of every hour, from the early morning sun to the cool night breeze. White supremacy got no chains on me. I run wild, I run free. Native. When you come around me, sage in the air, long braided hair, got the symbols of the universe that make up my gear. I've been free since 1492. Indigenous warriors is what makes it my crew. And we all got the heart of Chief Sitting Bull. Let the arrow fly if you're acting a fool.
Ay, yeah, young and indigenous. Know that we glistening, listening to the vision then. And so I'ma with my OG, Casacoa, and Black Mamba like it Kobe. All these think that they know me, but y'all don't really know me, cause things are looking rosy. When the sky fall, I'ma ride it even harder. And know that my sister rep it, Jason in the charger, what shingle dog. When the thunder over key on, why are all these peons chasing after neon? See, I be getting free with the meat, and it never tastes so sweet.
My life is as infinite as movement and measure. My spirit meditating between sadness and pleasure. Stay in the center, it helps me remember. I'm not afraid of my reflection. The smoky mirror is my connection. Mashika profound wisdom is my recollection. Erasing an infection of a colonized depression. Mashika people terrified. No one topped the white from continuing the genocide. Tell them fake fucking politicians to pick a side. The rich elites are eating us alive. Water is life and the earth is sacred. No one ever ruled this world with hatred. Many tried, but time erased them. The endless battles of life, the never-ending war between day and night. Pull back my arrow and let it fly straight into that pyramid's eye. Yo, Mashika never scared to die. Release my soul into the sky.
Hey.
That's a good finale for the show, guys.
Yo, I got one thing to say. This guy's energy is beautiful. Edgar's talent is profound. The organization of Armando, my intention, LA natives, this is our future. Good people spitting their heart out, knowing that there's only one goal: to leave flowers for the next 7 generations, to get back on our time wheel, to heal and make that intergenerational connection. I love you, brother.
I love you too.
Thank you for coming and sharing your talent.
Man, of course.
Thank you for challenging me.
Oh, I don't really feel like I challenged you that much. Only about MLK was the other
yeah.
side.
I love you guys. LA natives, we'll see you Sunday. Ometeo.